Good evening, my people. Good evening, my people. Hope all is well. Big Picture Podcast is for entertainment only. Our discussions are humorous and fictional, not serious or factual. We're not sharing personal truths or expertise. Don't try this at home. Our hosts are trained to entertain, not inform, or protect your interests or their own. Peace and love, my people. Like Thirsty Thursday. Hope y'all having a good week so far. One more day left in a week. It's been a long week in the hip hop community. I tell you, a long week in the hip hop community. In today's podcast, we will keep it very balanced, because we want to keep the agenda positive. We wish everybody love, prosperity, and love, But moreover, as my job as a media person, my job is to keep my people informed in the best way possible. All right? So, a guy on. All right? So, I'm a media personality, and my job is to inform you people about what's going on in the world of peace. In the world
Yo.
how's everything going? Hello, everyone.
What's good, Mont?
How you feeling? You good?
I can't complain. Feeling
Good,
good.
good, man.
It's
A
Friday.
lot's been going on.
It's Friday, Junior. And,
Yeah. Imani, what's
like you
going on,
said,
sis? Harlem's
it's been
definitely in the
live.
building. Imani, how you doing? How's the barber? Like treating you? How's the barber like treating you, my sister? Yes, my people. Before we start, I want all my people to make sure that y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right. It's Big Picture Podcast
Mm-hmm.
212. Big Picture Podcast 212. And show some love, as you should. But yeah, it's been a
Gotcha.
long week in the hip hop community. A lot has been going on.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a fact.
a lot has been going on. From Diddy to all of these music executives stepping down.
Mm-hmm.
It's very shocking. It's very shocking.
It's a
You
trickle
know.
effect.
Yeah. It's definitely trickle effect, and I would love to say that it's a coincidence, but that's I personally don't feel that's the case. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
personally don't feel that's the case. I could be wrong. But the way it's going down and the timing of it going down, I don't know. I don't know. So, Sean Diddy Combs, he was ordered held without bail Tuesday after
Mm-hmm.
he was charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs pleaded not guilty to the charges in federal court in New York City. U.S. Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnowski ordered Combs held after hearing from prosecutors and Combs' legal team late Tuesday afternoon. Mark Ignafilo, an attorney for Combs, appealed the decision Wednesday and lost. Prosecutors sought detention for Combs, arguing that he poses an ongoing and significant danger to the community and has repeatedly engaged in obstructive conduct and presents a serious risk of flight, while his lawyers asked that he be released on bond. Okay. Following Tuesday's hearing, an info told reporters outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan that Combs didn't do what prosecutors alleged, and he was going to fight the charges to the end. Okay, so just just in, um, according to People, Diddy is placed on suicide watch. Okay, while waiting trial, but his mental state is unclear. Okay, so it's things. This is why we have to be careful as Black people on how we speak on our fellow brothers and sisters when they're, you know, when they're doing bad. All right, because now this brother, allegedly, is in a suicidal, could possibly be in a suicidal state of mind, right? Because you hear people that saying they wouldn't wish a murder. They would rather. There's some people out there that saying that they would rather have a murder charge, all right, than be put in a case like this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
So
racketeering ain't no joke, man.
that racketeering and that Rico is nothing to play with, my brother.
That's the same thing they
You
got
understand what I'm
Thug
saying?
down for.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing to play with, B. That's nothing to
Mm-hmm.
play with. You know, um music executives and Nike executives step down. CEO and president of Warner Music Japan, all right? CEO of Sony Music Nashville. Okay, so yeah, the CEO and president of Warner Music Japan has stepped down. Um, the CEO of Sony Music Nashville has stepped down. Kevin Liles, the Nike executive John Donahoe, and Julie Greenwald. I've heard Julie Greenwald's name a lot in the music industry, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, now I don't know if you remember Bad Boy, that record label, they was under Atlantic Records for a long time.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So they I feel like that could be one of the reasons why, you know, they could probably be stepping down, from their positions, because all of this happened so soon. You know what I mean? Like as soon as he
Yeah,
gets locked up, gets put in that position, it's crazy, man.
they
It's
getting
crazy.
up out of there. It's
But
probably it.
see,
It's
you gotta know you gotta know how these people work. When it comes to these corporate companies, man, like they'll send a blast email, have a meeting, say, listen, if anybody has anything to do with this case, or if you feel you have anything to do with this case, we suggest that you resign.
exactly because
Just
look,
just
it's
resign
gonna be bad.
right now.
It's gonna be bad on.
Because if you
It's
don't
gonna be bad on
resign,
their
then
PR.
exactly. Exactly. So I'm like, wow. These these people that have stepped down are people who have been in the music industry for a long time.
That's a fact. Man, I'm
They've been in
about
the
to say when I
industry
seen
for a
Kevin Lyles,
long
I was like, my
time.
eyes
These are
was.
people, I've read Kevin Lyle's book. These are people who, when Diddy needs something to happen, he
Mm-hmm.
calls them dudes.
Facts.
Like those was his henchmen. Like those are his corporate henchmen. Like you need something signed. Like those are the cats, man. You know,
Mm.
um, the U.S. attorney who's overseeing the case against Diddy. All right, his name is Damian Williams. He also oversaw the Jeffrey Epstein case. Well, I'm
Okay.
sorry, Jeffrey Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell's case.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he's also overseeing the what's his name, Mayor Giuliani's case.
Okay.
So he was appointed by Joe Biden.
Mm.
This dude. Okay. So this case is bigger than Diddy, man. This shit is bigger than Diddy.
Of
Like, let
course.
me tell you why.
Of,
I feel like the U.S. attorney, they're like, listen, Diddy's like, quote unquote, the puppet of this whole ring of
he's
sex,
the
allegedly sex trafficking, or
he's the alleged scapegoat.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
the one that they're gonna pin all of this on to make it seem like he's
Mm-hmm.
the one that's been running all of this, but it's a whole bunch of different cats that is trickled down from. Like there are gatekeepers that's been in the music industry for a long time, and me and you know all of their names. Like they the top dogs. They done signed
Mm-hmm.
anybody that's anybody. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, they signed all of them. So we know
Mm-hmm.
who's really running it, but they not gonna go down because they 85, 90 years old, bro. Like they not about to. There's no reason to
Yeah.
even sit here and try to put them through a trial. They probably old see now, don't even remember half the shit they did.
Facts.
So they gonna put the people that's quote unquote in their prime or just leaving their prime. Diddy ain't really got nothing going for him right now. It ain't like he still got 10 artists to look after. They knew what they was doing. It's just like what they did with R. Kelly. It was the timing was right.
Mm-hmm. He's in the same jail that R. Kelly and
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Wap and all them was in.
Yup. Right before you go to federal prison.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
It
crazy.
is.
That's crazy, man. Um, so did you see any of the Justin Bieber videos surfacing around?
Yeah, I seen them when they first dropped.
How do you feel about those?
It's crazy. Same thing that happened to Usher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's sad, man, because
Mm-hmm.
you know this just fuels why people feel like you know um like why celebrities are sacrificing artists, sacrificing children, doing all these different type of sacrificial actions or
Mm-hmm.
activity because allegedly he was doing the same thing with Usher,
Exactly.
and you see Usher in the interview. They asked Usher, "Hey, would you let your son hang with Diddy for a weekend or whatever the case is?" And he's like, "Nah, hell no, no."
Exactly.
But you send this kid
Just
Justin
you
Bieber,
send Justin Bieber to do it.
and in all both of those videos, Justin Bieber looks shook, man.
Exactly. And it's not just Diddy. It's it's Ellen DeGeneres too. You feel me? She done put
Mm-hmm.
Justin Bieber in weird situations on live TV, asking him outlandish questions when he's only 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
these people don't have a filter. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care to they don't care to filter out the fact that he's a 16-year-old. They gon' straight up just talk to him as if he's a veteran, asking him
Mm-hmm.
all these outlandish questions, knowing he's not ready for that type of action. So it's like it's crazy the things that they put these children through in the industry. Because it's not just Justin Bieber. It's been a long line of children that had to go through the same BS that he's had to go through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes me wonder if Diddy went through these type of things, as a child. Well, not even as a
Hmm.
child, because
But like
I
as
no
him
no
going
I've
into the
heard.
industry.
Yeah, exactly. Coming into the industry, did he go through that?
Hmm.
Did he go through that with the Clive Davises or the
Hmm.
allegedly the Clive Davises or
The
rest in
Andre
peace Andre
Harrells.
Harrell,
Hmm.
those type of people? Like,
Yeah.
what type of experience? What was he experiencing as an intern, or what was he experiencing as a young executive? And for anyone who wants to be in the music industry or in film or whatever the case is, you have to be mindful of who you're working under, because
Hmm.
and don't let that money fool you. Don't let the fame fool you, because it'll suck you in. Pause. And you'll end up, unfortunately, probably, with a mental health issue or
Yeah.
doing illmatic acts like that.
Hmm.
Thinking that you control people, thinking that you control everything around you, and that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like it's wild, man. I feel bad for Justin Bieber, man. I feel bad for him because he didn't look too comfortable in those videos. You know,
That's a fact.
you know what I'm saying? He ain't look too good in them joints, man. And mental health is a very, very important thing in our community. And I think a lot of times, I think it's the way that we were raised, with the hip hop culture, with the whole money cash holes mindset and the pants sagging and all these different things. None of these different things, helped or added value to who we are as black men and women. You
That's a
understand what I'm
fact.
saying?
Yeah, 100%.
That yeah, it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear rap songs talking about whoop that chick. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
there's too many things that are glorified. Too many things. Songs and different types of situations that are glorified that keep us conditioned in the wrong manner. In a wrong manner. And the result is us not being successful because we're distracted by what's on TV and the media. These corporations feed it, so we're not successful.
Correct.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think this whole narrative has to change, man. And people got to really wake up, and realize what's going on, and sink in, some of the knowledge that's being put out there, and not always being, not always, be caught up with all the hype that's going on.
Exactly. But
You
that's
understand?
that's the problem. People always be wanting to get caught up in drama. That's their favorite thing to do. And then when you get set up like that, that's when you end up in some shit that you ain't had no business being in.
Mm-hmm.
Now you in deep waters where you could have just been minding your own business. Could have got out the way. People want to be in the way too much. And that's
Mm-hmm.
their problem.
Yeah, man. It's wild, man. It's wild. We got to start, we got to start doing more things for the kids, man. You know what I mean? Like information that we might have, pass it on to your brother, pass it on to your sister. So
Hmm.
they can let their kids know about programs and things of that nature. These are the different things that need to be put out there. And keep it a buck, man. So I'll be sure he he reports that Kim Porter allegedly, was putting out a diary. And in this
Hmm.
diary, she has stories about Puff doing all these different types of things or whatever. Um, and I'm looking forward to reading that. If that's a diary, a book, or whatever, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to reading that because she was a very successful woman.
Hmm.
Besides her experience, with Diddy or whatever the case is, she was a very, very talented woman, and she birthed two beautiful daughters. Who I think are going to be very successful in whatever they do. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And she also birthed a son, Christian. You know what I mean? Talented
Hmm.
kid. So I'm looking forward to seeing, reading that book. So are you watching the BET Hip Hop Awards? You gonna watch it when it
I'm
drops?
I'm gonna probably check it out, see what they talking about, see if they gonna have some good ciphers, and
Yeah,
just see if the performances are dope.
yeah,
See if it's better than
yeah,
the BET awards that we had this past year.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yo,
yeah, yeah.
speaking of award shows, I had went back and watched the 1999 VMAs, and I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, bro, like today's industry is missing like those stars, bro. Like back in '99, bro, it was nothing but stars. You had good performances back to back to back. You feel me? Like you had
Mm-hmm.
Lauryn Hill performing, you had Run DMC with Kid Rock and Aerosmith performing, you had Jay-Z performing, you had Britney Spears and NSYNC, you had Eminem, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg. You feel me? Like you had real stars. They tried to get Prince to perform, but he said no. That would have been crazy. He would have did
Mm-hmm.
1999. That should have been wild. But it's like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you had so many different lanes that you could have went down. It's like today I feel like we don't really have that same culture. Like we don't have that strong foundation where we can have our top guys come out and and do their thing at the award shows because none of the top guys come out. You ain't gonna get Kendrick at the Hip Hop Awards. You're not gonna get J. Cole there, or Drake,
Mm.
or Ye, or Nas, or Jay. Like none of
Yeah,
those guys are gonna be there. So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
who's who's really gonna represent hip hop?
Hmm.
So it's gonna be
Well,
interesting to see.
yeah, it definitely is. I'm looking forward to seeing. I want to try to pay attention to some of the new breed
Hmm.
of hip hop artists. You know, I'm tired of seeing Sexy Red. I'm tired of Glorilla and all of these chicks. You know, I kind of like Glorilla's flow, but I feel like she's trying to cross over too much into the
Hmm.
whole, thought mentality or whatever, the thought, branding or whatever. Um, Lauren London, she is um she is not she's a nominee for breakthrough artist, best breakthrough artist. So,
Hmm.
but the ill part about it is why is she going against Sexy Red?
Who is that?
Lauren London, like why why is she why is Sexy Red still considered a breakthrough artist? Like, what's
Because
up
she
with
just
that?
came out. Because she just came out last year.
Bro, Sexy Red been out for at least 2 years now. You do you still consider Sexy Red a breakthrough artist? It doesn't breakthrough artist mean like you're kind of like in a rookie stage or whatever, what have you? Like
Yeah, I
I
still
feel like Sexy Red is not still considered a breakthrough. She has
this like
broken the
this like the first year
tape.
she like doing like performances at like award shows. So yeah, this would be considered like her breakthrough year.
Mhm.
Because I remember when Chance the Rapper won Best New Artist in 2016, he had already put out two mixtapes and had been out for like 5, 6 years at that time. But that
Mhm.
was like his first year being on the main stage, being in the industry for real. Like before, he was just a mixtape rapper. Now he had crossed over.
Mhm.
So even though Sexy Red has only been out for like a year or two, this is like the first year where she like on the stage. So she's considered like a breakthrough artist, a new artist. Ice Spice would be considered a breakthrough artist last year, but Sexy Red would be considered a breakthrough artist this year.
I think the reason why they're trying to put her in that category still is because they are trying to still push that whole uh, uh, branding type of shaking the booty, popping the coochie. Like they want to keep that in front of you. I'm telling you,
Hmm.
I feel like that's the agenda.
Of
Like
course.
let's try to put Sexy Red in any category where it's a chance for her to still stand for it to stand out and
Hmm.
possibly win an award. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't
Because
know if she's gonna win
if
no
Lauren London,
awards.
if I'm just, but I'm pretty.
Oh, she
I
probably
hope
would breakthrough artist.
this
That's
is what I'm
about
trying
it.
to say. She'll probably win that.
But who else is a nominee?
But yo, bro, let me tell you. Let me show you right now because it doesn't make any sense. Um, let me see right now. Uh, artist 41, 310 Baby, Bossman Glow, Cash Cobain, Skilla Baby, and Tommy Richmond.
Damn. And then Sexy Red and
Lauren London.
Laura London.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you.
So
Let
they
me
don't.
tell you what
So
they
they the
do.
only. So they the only two females in that, and then the rest of
Yeah,
the dudes.
yeah.
Yeah, Boss Man D'Lo not winning.
Let me
Um,
tell you what they need to do. BT Awards.
Skilla Baby not winning.
Yeah, they're gonna probably give the Sexy Red.
They could
If
give
Lauren,
it to the white boy. They could give it to Tommy Richmond. Don't be surprised they give it to Tommy Richmond.
yeah, they could fuck the game up and do that. I wouldn't be
That
surprised.
that would be the safe bet. If like, cause you feel me, it's gonna be a lot of. I feel like a lot of hip hop heads or the young heads who call them old heads. They would probably be mad if
Mhm.
Sexy Red wins. Um, so the safe route. I mean, everybody would probably be mad if Tommy Richmond wins, but that's the safe route. Like they're not gonna give it to none of the niggas. They're not gonna give it to Boss Man D-Lo. They're not gonna give it to Skilla Baby. Uh, there was
Mm-hmm.
somebody else that I know that you said right before them. They're not giving it to him either. It's either gonna be Sexy Red or Tommy Richmond.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
had to be real.
Okay. But I hope they give it to Lauren London because that will definitely change the narrative of the type of hip hop that's being projected now. You understand what I'm saying? Especially from our queens. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, I, I would definitely like to see them um, shed light on black businesses in the BT
Yeah,
Awards.
that would be
They
nice.
need to really like. I feel like hip hop, rap, is like it's. I don't feel like it's going out like rock and roll. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? But I feel like you know we're we're not we're not we're not moving with the times.
It's definitely taking a back seat, like most definitely. Because if you look at the top 100 on billboards right now, there's only like two rap songs in the top 30, and
No,
both
but
of them have Kendrick
I
Lamar
mean
on
as
it.
far I'm saying as far as like the BET Awards in general, they
Hmm.
have to start focusing on businesses too,
Yeah.
shedding light on black businesses. Not
Hmm.
just just one award or I think they usually give like one award or something like that. It's like 2 seconds or whatever. But you know, and platforms have to start focusing on black businesses too. You know, successful black businesses,
Hmm.
in the communities, in different communities. You know what I'm saying? Because there needs to be more wealth talk. There needs to be more wealth talk, man. You understand what I'm
No
saying?
doubt.
More wealth talk.
Like
You
push
know,
that. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like they need to start pushing that agenda, showing that black people could be more than just drug dealers and prostitutes.
yeah. Like Lo just said, they got bring back Teen Summit. I don't know if you remember Teen Summit, and you had what was it? What else was also on BET? You had Teen Summit. You
Hmm.
had BET News.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those type of shows they were displaying. They was putting on their platform, shedding
Well,
light on black businesses.
that also was going on when BET was ran by a black man. That
This is where
no
this is
longer.
this is why this is why as much as I credit Bob Johnson
Mm,
for selling BET to Viacom so he could become a billionaire and buy I think it was a Charlotte Bobcats or whatever,
mm,
you know,
mm-hmm.
he lost control. We lost as black people. We lost control of a
Our
very
narrative.
successful media.
We lost
Yeah,
we lost control of our narrative,
yeah.
and it's like at this point, it's like black people don't really have a voice. We don't have a place where we can hone our craft anymore. It's not a place where we can just go fit in. That's why at this point in time, there ain't no rap music being represented on billboards because there is no commercial rap music out.
They knew what listen, they knew what they was doing when they offered Bob Johnson that money.
Hmm. They wanted to
They
take
said
over.
they saw the big picture. They was like, you know what? We can't give we can't give this community this much power.
Exactly.
You
Because
understand what I'm
they
saying?
was on the way up.
You had
They was doing
all
big
black newscasters,
things.
big things, brother. You had BT Basement. You had the Teen Summit. You had the
Hmm.
remember they was going to colleges.
Yeah,
They was going
yeah.
to the
Col- the
HBCUs.
college
You understand what I'm
tours,
saying?
106
Oh
in
yeah, the college
Park.
tours.
Hmm.
Tigger, or something like that. Yeah, Tigger.
Yeah,
But there was other kid. There was a skinny dude too. I forget his name.
probably
He was a
Terrence J.
comedian. No, 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 no,
Nah,
no, no. It was a skinny dude. It was a skinny dude, and he was very skinny, and he was like a comedian. and he would go to the colleges too.
Mm.
But yeah, all of that to say, brother, all of that to say, you know, we we need some type of media platform where we can, you know, kind of display more black businesses, man.
Right,
Because like say for
you know
instance,
what you know what we need to do? We need to go to the platforms that broadcast black movies. We need to go to Tubi. We need to go to Netflix. That's how we can get our shit across too.
mhm.
Get it on them streaming sites. We don't even need BET no more. And if that's the case, go and try to get it on BET Plus.
Well, see, like my man Lowe said, he said we got the platform right now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And
Mm-hmm.
start, yo, listen, man, this is just the beginning, man. You know,
Facts.
like I'm gonna start having some black entrepreneurs on here, lawyers,
Bro,
social workers, doctors, the whole nine, man. I'm about to expand the brand. You understand what I'm
we
saying?
gotta definitely get some entrepreneurs up here, some black entrepreneurs, some guys that's
Yeah,
doing big things in
yeah.
the community, bro. Yeah, I was telling you, Mont, we gotta go tap in with Abby Sandwich Shop. They're gonna be opening a new restaurant down in Newark in October. First thing,
Okay,
his first day sandwiches is the bomb, and he doing big
okay.
things with Roz Baraka in Newark. So that shit is dope.
Yeah, I'm gonna start tapping in with some of these black businesses,
Hmm.
because you know, YouTube. You know, we're in a new era right now, right?
Yeah,
Where you don't need. You see how Mason Cam did it. You
yeah,
don't need a deal from NBC. You don't need a deal from Viacom. You can take your platform, start it here, segue it to YouTube or what have
and
you,
take it the
and
way it need to go
showcase.
to.
Yeah, man.
That's all it need to be. Take it the way it need to be.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I have some really good connections, and we're gonna make this thing happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much information out there, B.
Hmm.
So much information. You know what I mean? That could be passed down to our children, to be passed over to our brothers and sisters.
That's a
You
fact.
know, and everything that goes on, even if it's negative, something like what's going on with Diddy, like try to get something positive out of that shit. Try to get. You know what I got positive out of that, bro? Like, be careful how you treat people.
Hmm.
Be careful how you treat people. Be careful how you treat people. Don't take advantage of them.
Yeah, because those same people that you took advantage of at them times could have been the people that was getting you out of jail, pretty much saying, nah, you a good dude. He ain't do none of that.
Yeah, don't take advantage of people, man. You
Could have
understand what I'm saying? Like,
could have flipped,
try,
could have really flipped the script.
yeah, like you know, try to like try to like be as level headed as possible.
Hmm.
Like, don't try to do too much. Like, it's
Don't always
okay.
try to
Just
don't always try to be seen. Like the most successful people be the ones that you don't see. They be getting their
Mhm.
money on the low.
And
Got to think.
that's one of the things. That's one of the things I respect about Jay-Z. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
he's not quick to go to the forefront to make a
Yeah.
dollar. Like, you might hear about him making the money, but say for
He.
instance, like with the whole say for instance, like with the Super Bowl thing, right?
Hmm.
Everybody was chatting about him for about a week, almost 2 weeks, right? But he
Yeah.
never came out and said nothing about
Yeah.
it.
Because
He
it's
never
like
said nothing about
it
it.
doesn't because it run it don't really matter.
Yeah, he's like,
And it's
yo,
like he looking at it like how any other person would look at it. It's a business move, bro. Like they came calling, so at the end of the
mm-hmm.
day, they all gonna thank him because every Super Bowl halftime show now is to our liking. That's the real
Mm-hmm.
BET Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me? We getting the
Mm-hmm.
people that we want to see on the stage that we want to see them on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
that. And when you really think about it like that, that's the reason why a BET award doesn't have the same success rate as it used to, because all the people that we want to see have gone corporate. They gone to the top levels. They doing shows in front of, like, Jay-Z's last two concerts, if I'm not mistaken, was in front of Tom Brady's retirement party and the Democratic Party or some shit like that. Like, man's ain't doing, he not going on MTV. He not
Summer
even going on the
Jam
Grammys.
and
Yeah,
Summer
he's
Jam and
not
shit.
doing Summer Jam. Yeah, like, it's over for that. Like, that time has passed. Now he's in a place where he doing corporate things. Same thing with Dr. Dre. Same thing with Snoop Dogg. Same thing with Beyonce, Rihanna. All of those people that we want to see, they doing next level things now.
Hmm. Oh, you said it did the Tonys too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, so he did the Tonys. Like, first off, I didn't even know the Tonys had live performances. I would have watched it just for the Jay-Z performance.
Hmm. Except Joy right now. Yeah, he definitely upped his value, man. And we take different things,
Hey y'all,
different tips. Hey,
What's up?
what's up, Joy? How you feeling?
good long day. I heard some of what y'all was talking about
Hmm.
as far
No
as you said
doubt.
the positives that you could take out from this whole Puffy situation and
Mm-hmm.
comparing Jay-Z's reaction or non-reaction to the controversy behind the decision to get Kendrick Lamar behind and how he didn't really address it because he's doing like bigger things.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nah, that's a fact.
yeah. You gotta take something positive out of what's going on these days, man. Because it's only gonna make us better as a people. You know, it's only gonna make us better as a people, man.
And at the
You
end of
know,
the day, this puppy shit is just a distraction. We need
big
to
distraction.
stay firm on what's really going on. Who gonna be running this country into the ground? I guess we all for
Mhm.
Big Kamala, right?
What did you guys think of well, first I have a question. What do you guys think that this whole Puffy circus is like a possible distraction from? Like, what do you think it could possibly be?
It could either be one or two things. It could either be some type of catastrophe that they're trying to hide from us, or a law that they're trying to pass.
It's okay. This is all like Rashida said. It's a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
He's the
distraction.
fall. He's the fall
You
guy.
know,
Yep.
he's definitely the fall guy. We
They
said
sitting
this.
here
We said this
saying
earlier.
that he's running the entire drug ring. Nah, nah, nah. Puffy is the one that's just having the wildest parties. He ain't running shit. There's somebody else that's running it. There's somebody that Puffy is answering to.
Of course. Listen, man. When you got somebody like a Nike CEO stepping down,
That that's big. That's
like
big
that
business.
right there is just crazy.
That's big business right there. Like, at that point, you looking
But
like, what type of deal did he have that was about to go down, or what? How many things has him and that Nike CEO been intertwined in with? So it's like, yeah, you start asking a lot of questions at that point. You feel
yeah,
me?
yeah. So all right. So it's a distraction. It's a distraction from this whole who is going to go into office, Kamala or Trump, because in the midst of all of this, or before it, right? Everyone was doing as much research as they could
Mm-hmm.
about Kamala and Trump. Now this, we don't know when Puffy's going to trial.
Exactly.
So Puffy not gonna go to trial till at least next year, bro. He's not going to trial before Christmas. It's not going down
Nope.
because they're still doing their investigation. And what's crazy about it is that I know there are some politicians that were involved in some of these acts
Of
that he
course.
was doing.
Did you see the screenshot of the people that resigned up until that point? And this was taken yesterday. So all the resignations haven't even gone through. And that was a list of like 20 people easily. Mayors, um, other executives,
Mm-hmm.
and the list keeps increasing. So that's why with me and my conspiracy theory tinfoil hat, I think it's a little bit. I think the media coverage is a distraction, but I definitely do think it's definitely bigger than that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Something is
serious.
going on, and
It's
Rome
a
is falling.
serious.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a serious matter because you got to remember, this U.S. attorney, Damian Williams,
Mm-hmm.
he's nothing to play with. He said he gave us a little piece of the pot the other day. He said the same person y'all gave the key to the city to last year is the same person who was getting these federal charges.
Mm.
So now you say to yourself, okay, what type of politicians? What type of politicians was at his parties?
Eric Adams gonna have a lot of explaining to do.
big
You
fact.
understand what I'm
We
saying?
already we already know he was at the Puffy party.
Of course he
Yeah,
was. You know he was. Come
you
on
know.
now, let's be real. You
So
know he
there's
was.
there's a lot to really think about, when it comes to these type of things that happen. Um, I'm still in the midst of doing my research of who to vote for. I saw the post about I think her name was Jill Stein. I think she's running for the Green Party.
Mm.
She's representing the Green Party.
Okay.
I believe like that's the Black Alliance group or what have you. So we listen, man. We gotta be mindful. We gotta be mindful because this brother, he's just he's just a small piece of the pie of what's going on. They he's probably at the bottom of the totem pole. You know what I mean?
And I definitely
And
do agree. I'm sorry, go ahead.
and then he's gonna start saying names.
For a fact, he's gonna cut a deal. Puffy don't have no integrity, and we all know that. He's definitely gonna cut a deal. The thing is, I feel like, and this is just my feeling, because this has a lot of mirroring with the Jeffrey Epstein situation. Whereas look how long he was sitting and all of a sudden he committed suicide. Number one, that man ain't commit no damn suicide. Mossad ran in there and they got their boy. They got him right the fuck up out of there. They just had to save face for the US to make it
Mm-hmm.
seem like, he was somebody that did wrong over here. But he was Israeli Mossad. That's equal to American, the US CIA. He had so much on these politicians over here. One second. He had so much on these politicians over here. They weren't going to just be okay with him just sitting in a federal jail in the United States. No, they got their boy right up on out of there. The difference is Puffy does not have the same hold that Jeffrey Epstein had with the Israeli government. And that's why in my conspiracy theory mind and my theories, I do feel like he is at a point now where, just like he said, they're gonna try to have him by regular population, and they're gonna say his life is at danger, because I don't think it's the inmates. I think they're gonna send that hit. People are not gonna be okay with just sitting there and losing everything because this man is about to lose everything and he wants to do a deal now. But that's just my
Mm.
theory. I feel like they definitely gonna do that hit if Puffy starts talking, or they're gonna try to do the hit before so he doesn't. But that's why all them CEOs are suddenly stepping down, because they're trying to save face and they're trying to save embarrassment.
They want to stay out of the way. They don't want to. They don't want to
Exactly.
be
They don't
the next
no,
person
they don't want to get fired.
losing. And
They don't
on
want to get
top of that,
fired.
they don't want none of their companies to lose
Bro,
endorsements.
bro,
So
they
they
don't want to get fired.
because
If you get fired, then you don't get the severance. You don't get the package.
mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? If you resign, you have a clean record. You can get the package. You can get whatever, and you might even get a reference if you're lucky. If you want to go somewhere,
Oh
you know.
shit.
But if you try to stick around until the wheels fall off, then you're gonna make an ass out of yourself.
Yo,
And
Mont,
Jay's, you know, what's
Rashida
up?
said the big homie gonna make the
Now,
call.
what does she mean by make that call? Like Jay Z's about to make that call.
About to
Because
get Diddy up out of here.
that's a good, huh?
Said make that call means Diddy gonna have to get up out of here.
You mean to get Diddy? I mean, listen to what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm trying to figure out where we going with this because, yeah, I
What
get it.
what did Ye say on that stage? Hove, I know you got killers. Please don't send them. Just come talk to me.
Okay, I get it. I get it, Rashida. Wow. Well, listen, if Kanye, if Diddy start talking, because he's gonna listen, man. If his lawyer says, "Listen, Puff, listen, John, you
Bro,
know, you gotta
Puff
start
not
talking.
getting no time off, bro. It's over.
Like, you got to if you don't want life and you want to do 15 years, you want to do 10 years, you got to give up some names. You got to give up some names.
Puff not getting nothing less than 25 years.
Yeah, I agree. How much time did R. Kelly? Didn't they say something about him possibly facing some kind of life sentence? I
Yeah,
could
R.
have
Kelly
read wrong
He got
information. I'm saying as far as
could have
Puppy, but how much
swore
time
R.
did R.
Kelly got
Kelly
like
get?
could have
R.
swore R. Kelly got at
Kelly
least
got
40
30
years.
years.
Oh,
30,
30?
30 years, 30
He
years.
already 50. It's over.
I
Now,
still
mind
can't. I
you,
still can't. I still can't get over that. That's crazy.
You
I
think
mean,
you
they
think
said,
you think R.
what's up?
Kelly gonna get out at 75 and go on like a tour run?
with who? Ronald Isley. Ronald Isley about 80 himself right now.
Yeah, it's
So he
over
gonna
for
be the
that.
new Ron
He
Isley when he come out.
That's what I was dead thinking. I'm like, he gonna fuck around and be coming out the chair with the
Yeah,
cane and shit.
He does have a lot to lose. He has a lot to lose.
They
Right.
all do.
Yeah,
They all do.
Jay Z want to see them twins grow up. Diddy
Yeah,
can't see his 1 year old.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
They done took her. They done took the 1 year old's passport, bro. That shit crazy. Like, how
Ah,
Wow.
they
He
do
gonna
you
do
like
see
that
what
whole
Los
time.
said?
Yeah. Nah, it's true.
they
I
done
It's
took
agree.
my
true. It's true.
I
It's true. When you
agree.
messing with these, when you got this federal case, when you got a federal case, man, and they building stuff on you, shit is different.
Yeah, what they said, the feds be having like a 90, 95% conviction rate. So, when they say the feds got you, they pretty much got you. But the
Yeah.
thing is, they throwing racketeering and saying with the trafficking, making that an issue. Now, this is why I wish people in our community would pay more attention, because I could be wrong, but I know a lot of that, the emphasis on trafficking when it comes to sex trafficking, not even drugs, sex trafficking, that was pushed under Trump, which is why so many of these elites are saying no to Trump. He's racist, 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 racist. He was pushing a lot of that. And I learned a lot of that from them. What was the group? The QAnons and all that, because they stayed posting Trump. They idolized him. But a lot of them were highlighting how Trump was signing executive orders and putting things into place to stop trafficking. And everybody keeps saying, "Oh, well, him and Epstein were friends." Well, word on the street is they actually fell out. Him and Epstein fell out because, remember, Epstein had a lot of them young girls on them planes at that island, and they were the entertainment. But he was recording it, so all them politicians, the elites, all of them, he had them on tape, so he had that over their head. Remember, Israel has U.S. in his pocket, even down to our current president. He's a Zionist. They all follow what Israel says. If they say green, U.S. is going to jump right behind them. They're going to say, well, how much green you want? Because they have them in pocket. Now, the rumor is one of Trump's right-hand men, his daughter was violated at a party on Epstein Island, and that's what caused them two to fall out, because Trump showed his loyalty more so towards the guy. And I'm going to find out the guy's name just to add validation to the rumor, but that Trump basically sided with his mans. I guess this was more so like a business kind of guy, and Epstein was just somebody that he knew. That's
That
why
was just
Trump and
somebody he
Epstein fall
partied
out.
with. You feel me?
Right,
Like him and Epstein was
right,
just like cool. They seen each other in events.
right.
But if that's Trump's right, if that's one of Trump's right hand men, he's definitely going to take his side over Epstein's side.
Right. So now, when the whole thing with the trafficking, the trying to prohibit trafficking, especially with sex trafficking, an emphasis was put on child sex trafficking. So that's why they were saying that had a lot to do with building the wall, because not only is major drugs coming through Mexico, but a lot of sex trafficking, including from minors. You got to lay back down. I'm coming, baby. A lot of that child sex trafficking is coming through those tunnels in Mexico, and from Mexico to Texas. Now, if you go to Texas, you see their governor was on some shit, like he had a problem with who was it, Kamala, because she was supposed to be overseeing it. So he was calling her out. Y'all got to come and do something about this. So he put something up, and then they came and they sanctioned him and said he had to take it down because they weren't doing anything about them coming through the border. This is when the administration switched from Trump to Biden. So that's why a lot of Hollywood is so upset, and they hate Trump train, because he was pushing to stop the trafficking. Again, I'm not saying Trump is like the savior, how the QAnon people tried to make him seem, but he was pushing a lot of those executive orders to get certain things and certain laws put into place to prohibit that sex trafficking, especially children specifically. Now, if you look at that Epstein list, a lot of those are Democratic supporters, but they're not all. There's some Republicans on there too. You're supposed to lay back down. What's your problem? Okay, 1 second.
That's
A lot of
interesting.
there's some Republicans on there too. I'm not one of those people that would be like, oh, it's only Democrats. And no, Republicans were on that list too. But a lot of them, if you look, they are Democratic supporters. Now, Puffy was never on that Epstein's flight log, but J and B were. Ellen was.
Yeah.
Oprah was. Who else? J Lo was.
Joe
Gwen
Biden was on
Stefani.
there.
Joe and Hunter Biden.
Bob
My heart was
Saget.
broke when I saw Pharrell was Bob Saget. Bob Saget got in trouble for I heard he got in trouble a few times for some prostitute stories too. So they all were complacent in a lot of the sex trafficking. So I understand what Boosie was saying. Like, this shit ain't nothing new in Hollywood. They do this. That's the norm. That's what they do. Whether you flying shorty in to come see you, whether you know she was a party girl or not, it was the norm in the industry. And it's crazy, but they're hanging out Puff the Dry because for whatever reason, if it's a humiliation ritual, they got him up into his neck. Something happened where he got somebody mad, whether it was Clive Davis or them the people that he did the bottle distribution, the whole DeLeon thing with them.
Diego.
Whether it was Clive Davis or them, he pissed somebody off, and they're making him the
No,
example. Lay down,
it
stop
was
playing.
probably that Diego company.
Yes, I couldn't think of the name. Thank you. Yes. Yes, because I don't know if you sent it to the group chat where 50 basically was confirming that. And somebody had brought this up a few months ago too. Puffy pissed them off. And once you rub them the wrong way, they're going to make sure they make you an example. They're going to put him right back in his place. Another Negro they're doing business with. And yeah, you're good for the brand, but don't get out of pocket, nigga. And I feel like that's the example they're trying to make of him right now. The only thing is, so many people have so much to lose, and they knew that. They knew when they were striking the dominoes, that domino effect it would have.
So let me ask you a
Now,
question. So they're trying to get him the main. It looks like the main charge is sex trafficking, right?
mm-hmm,
What is considered sex trafficking? Because in my head, what he was doing was paying girls
mm-hmm,
or paying for girls
mm-hmm,
to come out and visit him and visit
yeah,
him. So if a man flies a woman out, is that sex
yeah.
trafficking?
So
Yes.
Puff.
That's
So
now that's basically considered sex trafficking if it is within the means of performing a sexual act for some kind of exchange.
exactly.
So that's why so many people, and actually, I know somebody very well who was pimping, and he was
Mm,
with his homeboy. His homeboy had a little young thing with them. They didn't know
mm.
how young she was. Apparently, the girl was 16. They got
Damn.
in trouble. So not only did the guy who was pimping her get in trouble, but so was he because he was in the presence
Mm-hmm.
of them. He was in that company, and he's facing 10 years. He's in a federal jail in D.C. right now. He's been there for the last 3 years,
Damn.
facing 10 years just because he was with them. So it
That
wasn't
shit
even
crazy.
his girl. But because the girl was 16 and he was there, boom, sex trafficking. And because they crossed a few state borders, so now every state you pass, they're throwing those charges on you too. Now it makes it federal.
Mm.
So yes, that according to them, Puffy he's guilty of sex trafficking.
And when you look at it like that, but now, like what I was actually gonna say, like to add on to like what Puffy was actually doing, what he was doing whenever he would go out to Miami specifically, he would have somebody go to the booby trap, let them know, like he'll and the person would be wearing a whole bunch of bad boys gear to let them know, oh, Puffy's in town. All of them would get into like a bus, a party bus, and go to Puffy's house to do whatever was going down. They knew they was gonna get paid very very well to go out there and do what they was gonna do.
Mm, that's crazy. I heard somebody tell me that before. Somebody who said they used to be a bouncer. OG Cat. He said he saw like a bunch of dudes, a couple of guys. They would wear like the Bad Boys T-shirts or something like that. He was saying,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how they would like recruit. They would like recruit different people or whatever to come back to the hotel room with them or whatever the case is. Um, but this it's crazy, man, because it's like you got people who do that all the time. They flying girls out to take them shopping. Yeah, I'll take you shopping, or I'll
Mm-hmm.
take you. I pay your bills, but I'm gonna fly you out. We're gonna do what we do. That's sex trafficking.
Mm, yeah,
That's sex trafficking.
yeah. Being a sugar daddy is trafficking.
And they
Yeah.
all do it. They all do it. They all do it. So now you have this gray line that you're trying to put a definition, a definitive stance on these gray lines. But it's like, so now everybody just gets caught up. Like if you get caught up in a tornado, it's like you just got caught up as collateral. That's what it seems like they're seeing it as.
Oh, okay. So I heard about this earlier. So Jack Johnson, he had a white wife and they couldn't get him, so they made up the Mann Act. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I'm gonna have to Google that. I was watching something a little earlier, and they was talking about that guy Jack Johnson, a brother who got arrested for something like this, sex trafficking, pretty much.
Mm.
That's what they call sex trafficking. Jack
Yeah, that
Johnson.
shit crazy.
Yeah, he listen, man. Our brother, our brother Puff, man. He made somebody. He got somebody mad. He
Of
got somebody
course.
mad. And now they just taking. And the ill part about it is that when you get these type of convictions, it's a chance that they can take your assets too.
That's the first thing they're going after. They're gonna strip him of
Something.
everything. They're gonna
Yeah.
emasculate him. They're gonna emasculate him. They're gonna strip
Mm.
him of everything. And it's just like buck breaking. This is buck breaking at its finest, just modern day, all over again. Current day buck breaking. That's what they're doing to him right now. And it's not to say he's not guilty of violating people and that he was this innocent Hollywood mogul that could do no wrong. And no, we all know Puff was grimy. Puff don't have no
Mm.
integrity. And all it is it really is reaping what you sow. All that
Yeah.
coming back around to him from doing people dirty for so long. That's universal law number one.
Yep.
But they're definitely making an example out of him, and that goes to show you when you pledge allegiance to the devil and you sell your soul to the devil for certain things, thinking you're going to live this life of luxury and you can't be touched because you're throwing sacrifices and left and right. Let this be a prime example. If nobody is above being touched, nobody is above getting everything stripped from them. If you just happen to get your name picked out of a hat, you piss somebody off or whatever. Nobody is above that. And Puffy, this is very, very humbling to him. If when that first Cassie stuff and all those lawsuits started coming out, if it didn't humble him then, he's about to be humbled crazy right now, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I'm pretty sure when he got into that jail cell, they left a rope in there for him. I'm pretty sure they did that. You got some wicked
Nah, they just gonna leave. They just gonna leave the sheet.
or sheep. Yeah, you know that's
Yeah, it
wild,
is.
man.
It is crazy. Like you go one day from rolling through Harlem, seeing your peoples. Was out in Miami with Stevie J, telling everybody to pray for me.
Mm.
And now you in a situation where you facing life in prison.
So Jack Johnson was convicted in 1913, was ostensibly for transporting a white prostitute from Pittsburgh to Chicago,
Mm.
but was motivated by public outrage over his marriages to white women. So yeah, so he was the first one actually. Um, wow, wow. Now see, the ill part about it is that what was it Harvey Weinstein? He was able to make bail. No, he wasn't able to make bail because they offered it. It was a $5 million bail, but he didn't make it. So
Mm-hmm.
they listen, man. They try to make an example of Puffy, man. They
Bro, I'm
make
about to say Puffy tried to pay 50 M's and they still said no.
well 5 million cash.
That's still crazy. They said
Yeah,
no.
that's yeah, 50 million. They 10% of 50 million. That's what they do.
Ten
That's how the
percent.
bonds work.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and they
that's
said
what
no
people
to
don't.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So but still giving them 5 million cash
It's
is
still
is
a
bread.
lot of
A
bread.
lot of these celebrities out there, a lot of these rappers,
They don't got
these
5 million cash
CEOs, they probably got 5 million in credit
or 5 million in assets.
assets, but
That's what
five
I was gonna
million.
say. Because that paper seemed like it was a lot more collateral and other people willing to sign their name as reassurance for the bond. Because it was like all his adult kids, his one of his children's mom, his mother. It was a few people, at least like 7 people on top of certain properties. And they still
Mm-hmm.
was like, nope,
Damn.
sorry.
Yeah,
They was like, we
yeah,
don't want that shit, bro.
yeah, yeah, man.
It's unfortunate, but that's what happens.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Gave in his kids' passports, all of them.
even the
But
one
they was
year
like, nah.
old, bro. That's crazy. Like, where the 1 year old going? What's she gonna do to somebody? They said, nah,
Mm-mm.
she can't lead this. She can't lead the country either.
Didn't they say that they named his youngest son Christian in one of those indictments or something?
It
I
was
believe they named
it was
Christian
Yeah,
too.
Justin. I think
Justin
it was
and
Justin.
Christian, yeah, two of them, his
it was
oldest and his
both of
youngest.
them.
Yeah.
It was both of them. It was both of them.
I'm about to
But
say Justin was involved with, well, allegedly was involved in a murder with him. I read them Diddy
Oh,
files
the guy that got shot.
yeah,
Yeah, and they tried to say that somebody ran down on him and robbed him.
outside. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot all about that.
everything's everything's gonna unfold. Trust me.
I guess we ain't gonna be getting no more respectfully Justin podcast.
Oh man.
Who's tapped into revolt since Puff has left? Because I haven't. I haven't tapped into revolt in a little
Well,
minute.
my
Like, what be going
artist,
on?
my artist, he's actually going to the Revolt conference this month.
Okay.
So they're probably Revolt's probably still gonna have like music executives talk at the conferences and
Hmm.
things of that nature. Puff did them a solid. He built that brand to what it is.
Yep.
So he's not irreplaceable.
Mm-mm.
Okay, all they gonna do is keep the ball rolling. That's all you gotta do. Keep the ball rolling. The brand is already up there. Just like Ciroc. People are still gonna buy Ciroc.
That's a
Mhm.
fact.
One
People
thing that
still gonna
can't
buy
be
that shit.
disputed is Puffy was great for the culture. Puffy was great for the culture. Puffy had a good run of some decades. Puffy
Jordan,
had the culture on lock.
he's still good. He's technically, I know it don't sound right,
Hmm.
but he's still good for the culture. Let me tell you why.
I agree.
If they was to let Puffy out of jail right now, or if he'd have got bail, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he went down to freaking 14th Street and said, "Everybody meet me on 14th Street," there'd be millions of people down there.
So
Yeah.
talking about I need somebody to walk to give me another piece of cheesecake. That line will be wrapped around Union Square, not even the square block, but Union Square 3 times. All them people trying to run to him. You're absolutely right. I agree.
Last
Yep.
last walk to get some cheesecake. You know what I'm saying? That thing will go crazy viral. And
The
you
last
understand what
one
I'm
to
saying?
get
So
some cheesecake. Y'all funny as hell.
yeah, man, it would be. He's a heavy influencer, man. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's heavy. He's heavy. You dig? So I don't know. It's just a test. It's just a test of time right now. You know, but we have to see who we gonna vote for. You know, the time
Big
is coming,
Kamala.
huh?
Big Kamala.
Yeah.
Not the little one,
Not
not the
the
Indian one.
nah, the big black Kamala. You feel me? Black girl
Black
matter.
Kamala, not the Indian one.
We run
Oh,
it.
I did. I did some due diligence. I did a little research, and I did
Mm-hmm.
watch something. She was actually, I think it was called the NPJ, the NPAJ, or something like that. Some kind of convention where she was talking to some independent Black journalists in Philly, and she did say she was like, because we as Black people, she did say that. So that was my first time hearing her acknowledge herself out of her own mouth as a Black woman. So I want to say that because that was one of my points I made last week. Like, I haven't heard her personally say it, but I did hear her say it. Do I believe her? No. I think it's something she's still just, kind of claiming for the sake of winning the vote. But I did hear her say it. So I have to acknowledge that I did hear her say it.
You know, I just thought about like there's a like especially I was talking to my daughter the other day, my 16-year-old, about how good she writes, you understand what I'm saying, and how like I'm trying to inspire her to write books,
Mm-hmm.
children books and just books in general. Because her vocabulary is immaculate. Like you have a conversation with her, you think you're talking to a 25, 30-year-old. You understand what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Um, they need to have like book writing retreats for young Black women. You
That would be
understand what I'm saying?
excellent. Yeah.
Especially, especially if they want to focus in journalism. You know, um, if they did something like that, that would be superb.
You know what? I saw a video the other day that was saying how in the differences, and I want to say this man was like a Black educator, whether he was a teacher or just worked in education, I'm not sure. But he did say how the differences he saw from working in predominantly Black schools versus working in predominantly white schools, and how the information is so readily available for the white students versus something as simple as scholarships for a student who could have like a 4.0 GPA, everything, and they qualify for so many scholarships, but yet even the guidance counselors will be like, oh, well, you got to put in the work to find out what you qualify for, versus when he was in the white schools and the same students will come with these high GPAs and the guidance counselors will be like, oh, look, we already started the process. You qualify for bang, 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 bang. And it's like we're teaching our children that, again, regardless if you're excelling, you still have to find this for yourself. You still, like, the resources aren't readily available for our children. And I feel like that's what we owe the future generations, to make sure that these resources are available for them, because it's not fair. It still
Yeah.
is an unfair disadvantage. And just like you said, having something, a program so good is like, whether it's facilitating young girls while they discover whether they want to take up an interest in journaling or not, just to have the experience, we should have that information for our girls so we could be like, hey, this is something we should have versus, hey, I know such and such, and she has a program where, she takes these girls every, couple of seasons or every other semester is a new group or something. We need that for our children, boys and girls.
Yeah,
I agree
yeah.
100% because
You still just need an outlet.
I know for a fact that growing up, it definitely was a little bit harder, like trying to find scholarships, a little bit discouraging when you know that you can write really well and just not knowing where to go for these said scholarships. So if they had like a program like that in my school that was helping kids really figure out what they wanted to do and also get them some good scholarships so they can go to school for cheaper, that would have definitely helped a lot.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try to. Um, I gave some of my people some flyers the other day. Actually, it was yesterday. For some programs I have my daughter in. It's called Millbank in Harlem, and they have programs for J.P. Morgan and Chase, and they have programs for Madison Square Garden. The kids who want to get into like film, journalism, and things of that nature. So um, definitely, like Joy, pass it on to your homegirls or whatever who got like teenagers or what have you,
Yep,
or young,
for
young
sure.
children or whatever. It's right there in Harlem, Millbank,
Yeah.
official. You
I
know,
think I want to say my son's
Okay,
dad just
okay.
took him to something in Millbank. I think it was something like a basketball tryout or something a
tournament.
couple of weekends ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Oh, you know what
Mm-hmm.
it was? Okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
my son's dad saying he was saying something about Millbank the other day. So I
Mm.
definitely will spread the word.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the thing about, let me tell you something. Programs like that. Now, gratefully, they have a good number of kids that already go there. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you don't have enough kids that go to these programs, the government cuts the funds.
Right, right.
So
They
this
lose
is
funding.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this is why it's important to spread the word. We can't have this mentality like, oh, let me not tell nobody because my child might not get an opportunity or whatever the case is. No, that's not how it works.
yeah,
It's
that's
the other way
horrible.
around. Yeah, it's the other way around. If enough kids don't know about it, you understand what I'm saying? Then the community they lose that funding. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah. So I let my people know, because my daughters they've been in that program for a while now.
yeah.
Now. So I definitely got my 16-year-old in it, and they have a number of like different programs for young girls, teenagers. They talk about sex. They talk about they do writing diaries and stuff. It's a
Hmm.
whole because sex education is something that these kids need to talk about.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
for
Because
sure.
these kids are these kids are sexually active younger and younger now.
Yep,
Back in the days, it was, seventh grade, eighth grade, people was doing a little thingy, whatever. Now these kids is super, it's crazy. It's
yep,
crazy,
yep.
you know. But, yeah, man, yeah. So, a little earlier we was talking about how we just want to like, try to start shedding light on black businesses, you know.
For
So,
sure.
and entrepreneurs and things of that nature because there's too much distraction going on, and we got to start bringing more positivity and more black entrepreneurship and knowledge to the table. You know,
Yeah,
we got to start doing it. Sit outside with a table and a bullhorn on 125th and promote it. Yeah, yeah. That's called guerrilla marketing.
yep,
That's a guerrilla marketing scheme.
yep,
You know,
There you go.
man, for real,
yep.
for real, for real, for
Old
real,
school.
for real. But yeah,
Sure
yeah,
is.
I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. You know what I'm saying? For tapping in. We got a really good chance to really talk about, the Diddy situation, you know, um, mental health. We spoke about mental health from the beginning of the pod, you know, and how important, the mental health is, staying
Yes,
on
it
point with
is.
that. You know what I'm saying? It's so important. It's so important.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But yeah, low is too much. But yeah, listen, y'all have a beautiful night. Thanks for tapping in. All right? Cool, cool. Joy, you good? Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good over there? She waving
I'm
at me.
good.
Looks familiar. I don't want to hear any more Hov and Diddy. Yeah, man, no more Hov and Diddy talk, man.
I
No more
second
Hov
that
and Diddy talk.
low. I
Yeah,
second that low.
we want to, get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the media, they just try to keep us distracted from what we want to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, low
Mm-hmm.
too funny, bro.
yeah,
Talking about
yeah,
some, I don't want to hear no more hope. Man, listen, as
yeah,
long as it's in the, it's going to be there because this is one. This case hasn't even started. The trial is going to be going, and it's
yeah,
going to be all throughout the
yeah,
news. They're gonna make sure that they
yeah.
push it heavy.
As listen, as a media, like I was saying earlier, as a media platform, you have to talk about certain topics. Certain topics you
Mm-hmm.
just cannot talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's about how you address the topics and how
Right.
you segue to different things that you're talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? It's. But at the end of the day, we definitely want to try to keep it balanced, you know? Because, you got like, we was talking about how BET was ran back in the days. BET, they spoke about they shed light on a whole bunch of black businesses back then in the 90s, late
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
90s, early
cause they was,
2000s.
cause that's when they was real, man. That's when they was real.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Let me see what he's saying.
Low is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Y'all,
my,
one day y'all gonna thank me for not talking about Hov and Diddy.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Once football start ramping up, I got you. I'll come in here, living live and shit up.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
We're talking about the Super Bowl.
Oh, the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
so
cause
you like Lady London? Joy,
Who, me?
you like Lady London?
I
Yeah,
like her. I do. I like her. I like
yeah,
her.
yeah.
I like her
She's getting
style. I watched the podcast episode. She was on Joe Budden's
okay.
podcast, and how she I like how she basically was sticking to her principles of how she felt, because even with, I don't know if this was Mal, I don't know his name, I'm not sure if this is Mal, but he kept emphasizing, he kept saying, like, you got to be careful, because you say that you want to stick to this now, but once you get in the industry, it may be a little different. They may say they agree with it now, and then, until you get in the industry, that pressure starts cracking. And I respect it. She stood firm on it. She was like, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. So I just like that, she still was sticking to it, even though I do see his point, and I do agree to a certain extent. Like, they can tell you whatever you want, whatever they think you want to hear, until you sign on that dotted line, and then boom, they hit you with the, well, we got this little outfit, we just want you to wear type shit. But I do like that, she was very still, like, standing firm, and like, they could come with it all they want, but so far I've been good. So I respect her. I like how she carries herself. I like how she
Mm-hmm.
rhymes. I like her style. I like everything about her.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I see my brother Low. He's really he's dropping some jewels. You know, um, and one of the things he's in reference to you doing like a spiritual segment
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind.
because
I mean, what would that look like for y'all, though?
well
We
I
be,
it's go ahead. What you gonna say, Quan?
I said we'll be there. You feel me? Rooting you on and getting a lesson just like everybody else,
Well,
Okay.
well, the thing
and
is,
chiming in when.
when I look at it as a spiritual segment,
Mm-hmm.
I look at it as there's times where you talk about how like um I mean, we were talking about something one day, one pod, and I think you were saying this is a time where I don't think you said I don't know if it was distraction or when a lot of negative things are gonna happen and it's gonna try to distract us. I think remember when the lady got shot in her house and
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
it,
Yes.
it was like
Sonia Massey.
it was like three things that happened really tragic. And he
Yes.
was like, fellas, do not focus on that shit. Like, this is the time of the
Yes.
year where
Yes.
people are gonna be like, certain things are gonna happen.
Just gonna be
And
happening, yup.
Yes. The
yeah,
Jason month. Yes. Jason months. Yes. It's still relevant right now. It's still relevant. They're harvesting our energy right now because the veil is thin. So yes, I do know what you're talking about. Yes.
And they got a
so
full moon this
Oh,
weekend, if
it,
I'm not
it
mistaken.
was
it's a
a
full,
major full moon.
it's a full moon tonight.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's been a full moon since Tuesday. It's just that intense that it's still in the sky. It was a full moon lunar eclipse. So it's
Mm.
a very, very intense. And now we're in eclipse season. So be prepared for a lot of endings, a lot of beginnings, a lot of things like renegotiating, starting over, resets, recalibrations. The eclipse is ushering that in. So this is why again I emphasize like the average citizen, the everyday person doesn't pay any attention to astrology and astronomy, but the people who run the world, they do. And
Yeah,
that's why they do certain things when there's certain placements in the sky because they harness the energy. They understand how it works in their favor. Now that sounds like hocus pocus to us because we lack knowledge behind it, but they don't. They know exactly what they're doing. So
exactly.
that's why
And they
you gotta,
do it on a day-to-day
keep your
basis.
mind, yeah, keep your head on a swivel. But it's also staying true to what you know because there's gonna be a lot of distractions, negative and positive, sent our way to knock us off our pillar. And it's all a matter of how you decide you're gonna handle it. People around me are being tested. So I'm almost to the point like, all right, almost anticipating it, but now I know how to navigate through these times to where I don't let it scare me. I just kind of mentally prepare myself like, all right, regardless of what happens, I have faith that I'm blessed and highly favored and I'm covered. But
Mm-hmm.
you navigating this shit blind, I don't recommend it because you'll get caught. You'll get caught up. You'll lose everything and not know what to do and not realize it was as simple as a test. So it gets
Mm.
deep. It gets deep.
Mm. What about relationships? Have you seen had any energy vibes during the week about relationships or?
Ooh, heavy. That's the main one. That's the
Mm.
main one that's affected is dynamics, whether it's professional relationships, romantic ones. I said no more mangoes. Go lay back down. Because relationships form they have like they place a heavy emphasis in a lot of our lives, right? Whether it's business relationship partnerships, romantic ones, sister and brother dynamics. So whenever you have a situation that may be off kilter or there's some kind of imbalance, it's going to be highlighted during this time. And it's highlighted during this time on purpose because if we're being ushered to a point where, okay, follow me, right? If spiritually as a collective, we're being guided to be our highest selves, our best selves. If you notice, since 2019, 2020, and on, there's been like a mass awakening. All of a sudden, being spiritual is cool. It's a new trendy thing. Everybody's saying Ashe and Grand Rising and I'm spiritual. And at first it kind of annoyed me, but now I recognize that it's not something people are doing out of vain. It's a mass awakening. It's just happening to people in their own ways. So if this is something that's purposely happening and we're supposed to start awakening as a collective, then there's going to be certain things that test us. Are you really ready for this awakening? Because when you live in
Yeah.
the matrix, we're so used to things being a certain way that we're comfortable with it. And elevating, we all know you have to be taken out of your comfort zone. So what do you really want? Do you want elevation or do you want comfort?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why a lot of these tests are coming when it comes to relationships. If you are giving too much in your relationship or not giving enough, that's going to be highlighted. If you're in a relationship where maybe you're not being valued or you're not valuing your partner, that something is going to come up where that's going to be a highlight. If you're working somewhere and you feel like, you're unhappy and you're being called to do something else, but you're comfortable here because of the money you're making, you don't want to take a risk or whatever, something's going to happen to highlight it, to show you what is it do you really want? Do you want to be at this high frequency, or are you settling for comfort? So it's going to be a lot of emphasis on our dynamics and our immediate lives, whether it's financial, romantic, etc. I know that was long-winded. I'm sorry.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect.
You did the damn
I don't
thing.
that I don't think this spammer, the J whatever his name is, he don't know what the hell he's talking about.
What
Um,
scammer?
there's some spam on it. We the people don't have balance in life. That's why we're all over the place. Yeah, I think yeah, balance is so important. Balance
You know,
is
you know, you know, you on to something when they got a spammer in here talking nonsense. That's when we going up. We going up, y'all.
yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah,
worry about it.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I ain't tripping.
I see.
Nah, you talk. Listen, you talking that knowledge, Joy. I like that.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
so yeah, I think it's important that we realize, even in relationships, that we really focus on ourselves. You know, our highest selves and where we want to be. You know what I'm saying? Um, I like that point she was hitting. Joy and I speak of this all the time. Balance is key. Yeah, balance is key.
Yes, Kia. Hey,
Joy,
boo. Yes, Kia.
Do you feel
Yeah.
like sometimes people lose some of their creativity or some of their drive while being in relationships?
Yeah, that's one of the main things. Like when I do readings, a lot of the readings are based on relationships, and that is one of the main concerns. It's not a main concern, but it is something that does come up a lot. People feel like they lose themselves in their relationship. They lose
Okay.
focus. Maybe they were, focused on their goals, being driven towards certain, just, and feeling ambitious towards certain things, but feeling distracted, maybe not pouring the same energy that they once did into something they were passionate about, because now they have something to replace that, which is love. So it's like a lot of things that, again, being highlighted, where if there's some kind of imbalance or you're going about something that's not truly meant for you, it's going to be highlighted. So yeah, people do get very distracted when it comes to love, because sometimes for people it gives them like a false sense of fulfillment, that sometimes people want to see things that aren't there. So they keep working on something. They keep things there when it's supposed to have left your life. So, that is the main thing that people do come to me a lot for, or is like something that comes up in their readings a lot, is being distracted from something that's a passion because they replaced it with some kind of love or relationship.
Yeah, yeah, because I see this sometimes, like, you know, because you don't want to be the person who doesn't give that woman. Uh, is this guy snoring? The spammer was right. I think I just hit this dude. I'm like, what is?
Yes, he is.
Yo,
Poor baby had a
Quan.
long day. He
Yo,
had
what's
a long
good?
day.
Yo,
Let
go
him
to
sleep.
sleep. Yo, go to sleep, bro. Go to sleep,
Poor
man.
baby.
Go to sleep. Yo, I'll call you tomorrow, Quan. Go to sleep, bro. Me and me, me and Joy gonna hold it down. Me and Joy gonna hold it down. Go to sleep, bro.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm gonna tap in with y'all.
All
Good
right, all right, one.
night, Quan. Get some rest.
So, but yeah, Joy. So all right. So I see, like, sometimes people in relationships, right? First time in
Mm-hmm.
history. Yeah, we just made the Guinness Book of World Records just now. Oh man, for
Y'all
real, for
funny.
real. Yeah. So sometimes, you might uh there might be like relationships where you want to try to create balance, right?
Yes, for sure.
That's bad when the host's going to sleep. Yeah, it is, Orlando. Yeah, he's gonna get docked. His pay is gonna get docked next week, man.
Don't judge him. He had a long day. Don't be judging him.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, so because you wanna give that other person, attention or whatever, but it's
Hmm.
like you it's you want to create balance to where you are still able to focus on what you're doing, whether you're
Right.
running a business, whether you understand what I'm saying, and
Right.
then you got the other person on the other end trying to get that attention from you. But I think you have, as an individual, you have to stand on business. You
Yeah, for
have to
sure.
like really be like, listen, I got to focus on myself. I got to focus on who I am.
Right.
And if
And
if you're gonna be there, yeah, go ahead.
no, no, no. I was just going to say, and not to cut you off, that's one of the things that is a major lesson for all of us, sometimes collectively, is you can't pour from an empty cup. So remember, I said a little while ago, if there's an imbalance, it's not going to work. It's going to be highlighted during this time. So I can take away from something I'm passionate about and I could pour it into my relationship. But if the same thing, if it's not reciprocal, then how am I benefiting from it? Now I'm doing myself a disservice. So that doesn't benefit me in any way. And this is what I try to emphasize too. Like I used to always tell people, never chase. If you're in a situation where you feel like you got to beg and convince somebody to want to be with you, you you are now gonna let that lapse into other aspects of your life because you're putting yourself in a state of lack. If I feel like I have to chase you, that's me sending out the signal I don't have something that I really want. So now it puts me in a sense of lack versus being abundant and fulfilled. Now, if I have to chase you for something that I'm searching for, clearly I'm lacking of something. That's a problem. I have to fulfill that within my, oh my God, give me 1 second. What happened now?
Yeah, we're definitely getting on to something, fellas. I think when you're in a relationship, I think space is not honored enough. When she comes back, I wanna I wanna ask her about that. Yeah, never chase, never chase. Um, I don't think space is honored enough. It should be honored in relationships. I was watching a
Exactly.
clip. Yeah, so I was watching a clip on Instagram a little earlier, and it was saying, I think we put this in a group chat, how a professional counselor, she said how she would counsel couples or what have you, and she would confront the woman about how she needed to be held accountable for her actions,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote, probably being wrong in a relationship, and most of the women did not know how to handle that
Mm-hmm.
type of confrontation. And
Mm-hmm.
does this all go back to the stigma of a woman always being right?
I think it can. I think sometimes, unfortunately, our society and culture, especially because feminism is so deeply rooted, unfortunately, a lot of women are stuck in the, well, I can do no wrong. I'm supposed to get the princess treatment and I can do no wrong. And a lot of that is not taking accountability. But whether it comes from daddy issues or just self-esteem issues, a lot of women have this savior complex where they kind of feel like somebody has to come in and save the day regardless of how they act. So they could be the biggest bee in the world, they could act like a brat, they could just feel entitled and feel like this is what they're owed. Somebody owes this to them. So a lot of them don't want to take accountability because they don't want to face how they contribute to their lack in their lives, things they don't have, the relationships they're missing out on, because now you're putting a mirror in front of them, and those are harsh, ugly truths a lot of women just don't want to face. But then they stagnate their own progress with that. You're going to block your blessing if you're going based off a narrative that benefits you in no way, thinking that, oh, well, I'm waiting for somebody to come and he got to do everything and I just want to sit up and be pretty. If that works for you, that works for you. However, are you saying that your man is not deserving of love? Is he not deserving of being spoiled and appreciated and, being poured into, whether it's different love languages. Your love language could be through gifts, it could be through acts of service, it could be through affirmations. But are you saying that your partner is supposed to do all this for you and he's not worthy of getting that in return? That creates an imbalance. How can you thrive when something is imbalanced? That's not universal law. There's balance in everything, yin and yang energy, positive and negative. So if you have too much of one and not of the other, you bringing lack into your own dynamic. So I think, again, women sometimes get too comfortable as a collective. They get too comfortable with not taking accountability for how they contributing to their own, blocking their own blessings. And unfortunately, the lessons going to keep returning until they learn that.
Yeah, yeah. And it comes across as I was talking about space a little earlier, right before you had stepped away, and I think that sometimes when people are in relationships, I'm not talking about marriage, you
Mm-hmm.
know, so I'm talking about, relationships,
Mm-hmm.
uh, people get frowned upon for wanting space.
Mm.
You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes space can be a good thing. You
Yes, it
understand what I'm
absolutely could
saying?
be.
Because like,
Absolutely.
especially as a man wants a woman who respects his space,
Right.
number one. And number two, it also shows, you know, um, independence for that
Right.
woman. Like, let's see how this woman moves. You understand what I'm saying? In her own space.
Right.
Like, is she gonna become this weak individual, or is the energy gonna change in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not around her as much as she wants me around?
A lot of that has to do with insecurities and lack of trust too.
Yeah.
Why do you need me in your face all day, every day? You either trust me or you don't. And if you don't trust me, then you got to ask yourself why. Why is it that you don't trust me? Is it because of a prior experience? If I'm coming into this dynamic and I haven't given you any reason not to trust me, and you don't trust me off rip, then no, we need to reset this. Because you're not
Yeah.
going to bring that negativity to me and now it puts like a stain on our relationship. No, reset, start again. Ask yourself, why is it that I don't trust this person that I feel like I need them in my face every day, all day? Why?
Yeah.
Smothering
Yeah.
something is never beneficial. You can't keep a plant in a closet unless it thrives in the dark, unless it's that type of plant. But for the most part, you're going to smother it and deprive it of what it needs to die. The same thing with a relationship. I mean, what it needs to live and not die. Same thing with a relationship. Why would you want to smother somebody?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Yeah.
you can create a resentment that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like then God forbid if you needed to separate for whatever reason for a certain amount of time, what would you do? Now you're not going to know how to survive without each other, and now that no, it's just unhealthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Bye. Like, I want to miss you, I want you to miss me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That builds the
go do your
love.
thing. I want you to thrive because I want you to let me thrive. You never try to clip a butterfly's wings. That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It builds the fire when you're able to miss that person or whatever the case is. Because once you see them again, you know, I mean, if the love is genuine, when that guy comes to see you, he's gonna come with flowers. He's gonna come with all the different things to make you feel
Yep.
like, damn, I didn't see you in 3 days or 4 days, but it don't feel like that.
Right. I know for me personally, there's nothing like feeling missed. Like, you miss me?
Yeah.
Oh, you miss me? I like that feeling. I like feeling missed. I don't want to smother you. I don't ever want and maybe it could be my Leo pride, but I never want somebody to make me feel like they've seen too much of me. That's a problem for me. And even if I can speak to you every day, we see each other every day, even if we live together, that's fine. But I don't need to be up under you every minute. You know what I'm saying? That's what we could do that tonight in bed. We could do that when I see you. Like, and if we're real affectionate, because I'm super affectionate. I love affection. But again, it's still space. We could breathe. Like, damn, can I go pee? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I
Mhm.
needed to fart. Maybe I stepped out the room. So I had hot dogs today. I might not want you to smell this one. You know what I mean? And be okay with
Yeah.
that. Or, I want to run to the store and not feel like, oh, he or she is going to go call the other person or go do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that for me, that represents lack. It's a lack of trust. And anytime if I'm involved in a situation that there's a highlight of lack, it starts to push into other aspects of my life. Next thing you know, money's slowing down. Why?
Mhm.
because I called that energy to me. I'm attracting that energy of lack. Gotta go. Anytime I
Mm,
see where I'm chasing any, I feel like I'm chasing something, I fall
mm.
back. I fall back because I already know I'm not trying to have my money messed up. Things are flowing smoothly. Next thing you know, I'll start seeing delays here and there, and I'll know exactly where it's from. So I'll instantly fall back. If there's some kind of argument or disagreement, let's reset and recalibrate. We don't need to be up under each other.
I
Sometimes,
think
cooler heads will prevail. Let's fall
I
back.
I think the power of resetting is underrated.
I agree. Yo, your comments
It's
are funny,
yeah.
Monty.
My boy said, if you don't fart in front of me, I don't want you. I can't trust you.
I mean, be
Yeah,
careful what you ask for, because I'm a fart. I'm just trying to be respectful of you. Maybe you might not want it, maybe you're not into that, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. But I think there's nothing wrong whether you're married, not married, whatever the case is. I think being able to reset is
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
You
I
understand what I'm
agree.
saying?
Yeah.
Like whatever level of resetting that is, there's nothing wrong with that because a lot of
Hmm.
times when you do that, you're able to kind of find out, where the relationship is going to go, how it's going
Right,
to go,
right.
the temperature of it. You understand what I'm
Word.
saying?
Hmm.
It could be for spiritual reasons, it could be for finance, it could be for anything. You understand what I'm
Sometimes it's for
saying? So,
clarity.
and clarity too.
We
Yeah.
often carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. Each of us as
Mhm.
individuals, especially if you're in a relationship where you still have your separate households. As adults, we often carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. And
Mhm.
sometimes you can't find solace and comfort in your partner, and it doesn't mean that your partner is lacking anything. It just means that sometimes you just got to just do it on your own. Again, resetting, recalibrating, taking that moment, get a clear mind, because I would respect it so much more if my person told me I'm going through something, I need a minute. I appreciate you communicating that with me versus you're not saying anything. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? And now I don't know. Should I pry? Should I ask? Am I doing too much? Do you really want to be left alone? I don't want to play a guessing game at 41 years old. Tell me what it is. You need a minute. You need me to leave you alone? Because if I sense you got an attitude, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Let me give you a minute. You might just
Yeah.
want a minute and maybe not know how to vocalize it. So yes, resetting is absolutely necessary for all of us sometimes. Just give me a minute. When I want to come back to you, I will. And it's important for our partners or ourselves not take it personally.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal. Sometimes we just need that minute.
Yeah, yeah, and it could be for any reason. And I feel like like women that have and men have, we have our mother or father issues or whatever the case is. But we come across women who have like father issues.
Yes,
That could really mess up a relationship.
it sure could. And what
You
I've
know,
learned too, because I've always heard about, oh, daddy issues, daddy issues. It wasn't
daddy
until I
issues.
became an adult that I also recognize men and women with mommy issues and how that shows up in relationships as well. Because a lot of girls have mommy issues. Their dynamic with their mother was off. So
Mhm.
now they may not know either how to be nurturing to you or nurturing to their children, or don't know how to receive love, because they say that's our first form of love would be directly from the mother source, and then the father follows. So a lot of women with mommy issues, it don't even have to do nothing with daddy. It could have been mommy first, where
Mhm.
she's just mean for no fucking reason. She don't want to hug and kiss, don't want to be I'm sorry, I said I was gonna curse less, but she could
It's
just
all
be
right.
mean for no reason, and may not know how to show affection because she didn't receive that from her mother, because her mother didn't receive it from her mother, and so on and so on. So this is why, again, collectively, we're going through a spiritual awakening where these issues are being highlighted for us, because we have to address them so that we break it and it is not passed down to our next generation. They are filled with love and they see love from both parents. Even if they're not in the household, they still see a healthy co-parenting situation. They understand mommy and daddy didn't make it. However, it doesn't mean they hate each other. You know, it was important to me. My son's father and I, we broke up. My son is 10, he'll be 11. We broke up like 9, maybe 8.5, 9 years ago. And I still have the Times Square pictures we took when we were together. It was a Valentine's Day. You know, we got the tap kiss. You know, with the Times Square people, they take the pictures for the tourists. And
Yeah.
I always saved it for my son because since we broke up when my son was so young, I wanted him to have something where he saw mommy and daddy loved each other, even if he may not have a
Mm.
memory of it. So, going into my next relationship with my younger children's dad, I didn't just have it out and about for him to feel some kind of way. No, I kept it in my son's room, but I wanted why are you out of bed? Okay, I'm coming. But again, it was important for my son to see that, to see that mommy and daddy have love, even if we're not together. And I asked him the other day, and I was like, could you imagine? Because I always make jokes. I could never see my mother and father together. Like, ew, ew, ew. I can't picture that today. But I happened to ask my son the same thing, and he said it too. Like, ew, I can't picture you and dad together. So it might be weird to him, but it's kind of sad to me that he said that. He doesn't have a memory of his father and I loving each other. So now I
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure, okay, he does know that even if you don't remember it, there was love there, and we still at least respect each other. We get along, we laugh like kids, all the time. We're always silly. It's nothing sexual. There's no confusion there, but he sees there's still a family dynamic, even though there's not a romantic one. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I say it's important for our children to not have those same things passed on to them because it's not fair to them. They didn't ask for that. I'd rather my children see love, even if I'm not in love with their dads. Come on. Yeah, good night. Let's go. You want a hug? Come on. Let's go.
Mm. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I wanted to, we gotta wrap it up real soon. I just wanted to ask you, do you feel like women who are highly successful, right, that they have more relationship issues? They have a lot of relationship issues?
I think, again, yes. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Just keep laying down. Good night. I think, again, that depends on how healed the woman is. Because she could be as successful as she wants, but if she's unhealed emotionally, she still has those little girl wounds, it's not going to matter.
Oh,
Who she's seeing when
they
she looks
stick
in
with
that
it.
mirror.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Like, who is she seeing when she looks in that mirror? Who does she face when she wakes up every day? Like, who does she talk to? When we have those talks at the end of the night, with ourselves. Maybe it's just me, but when yes, baby. Okay, yes, baby, it's fine. But when you talking to yourself at the end of the day, who is the person she's really talking to? Because at the end of the day, that's who she has to face. So a woman can have a level of success that seems, something that is envied by others, but be miserable in person when it comes to like, I guess, what you would say like an emotional reflection of what her life looks like. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to, I don't know how to really say that, articulate that,
Okay.
but
Mm-hmm.
that shit means nothing. Look how many of them people, look at Meg Thee Stallion, for example, how they say like, she lost her mom and now it's like she's become an alcoholic because why are you out of bed? Come on. She became an alcoholic because that girl, she's reaching, I don't even believe that girl is at her peak. And she's seeing
Mm-hmm.
such a high level of success and she can't even enjoy it because that girl is not happy. That girl is down. She's
Yes, it is.
depressed. She's alone, and she feels it. Yes. Okay, Jules, no biting and lay down. Thank you. Thank you. God decided to give me twins at 38 years old. Could have
Yeah.
did this at 20 something.
Yeah,
Jesus.
but see, this is all of this. What I'm saying is that it all comes back to the agenda that media and that what's pushed out there for women to honor kids, to having kids before not even be married.
Yep. Out of wedlock. Right. Right. And you
It's
know why? The
like
same reason why they push feminism. Because
this. Is what
you
I'm trying
can
to
make
say.
more
Yeah.
money. Right. You can make more money as an individual versus as a family together. You know what I mean? Like, and it's sad. They don't have the family dynamic as their vested interest. They could care less. They could care
Mm-hmm.
less. And here we are with broken families, broken homes, broken families. And where you have now, you have women who they're actually looking to have children single by choice. And that's
Yeah,
crazy to me.
yeah, yeah,
And that's just a better option. And I get it, some women who feel like, they're getting older and they still want to experience motherhood. I'm not judging that. But as a choice to be a single mother, you clearly didn't try the single motherhood shit, because this is not an easy feat. It's nothing easy or glorious about being a single mother. A child absolutely needs both parents, whether they're in the same household or not. They need both parents active in their lives. So, again, back to what you said, what's really the agenda?
yeah,
And who
and
does it benefit?
yeah, and the children, they feel that spiritual energy from the mother.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, if that mother was driven to say, hey, listen, I don't need no nigga. You understand what I'm saying? I just want to get a
right,
kid out this nigga and keep it chucking.
right.
Like, I be feeling like, yo, like I think some of these women, they just they just want
Yeah,
to seed out a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Just so they can brag to their girlfriends or brag, what they see on social media and say, oh, they got kids or whatever. They got that right there. And then they just move on with their life.
Is more so seen as a trophy almost
Yes.
versus taking the pride and passing your legacy down to someone. It's more so seen as like, some kind of like feat as a woman. This is my achievement. Now I could say, I'm a woman because I'm a mother. Some people associate being a woman, a full 100% woman, with being able to mother and not
Mm-hmm.
really being emotionally invested in what you're doing. This is a huge emotional investment. And it doesn't just stop when that child turns 18. This is lifelong. So
Mm-hmm.
you absolutely are responsible for the next ripple you setting in the pond of life. Why would you just want to be reckless with that? Even down to
Yeah.
women who they bring every guy they're dating around their children. I can't stand that. I can't
Yeah, that's
stand that. And the
ridiculous.
same thing with men. Your babies don't need to meet every girl you're dating now because she's your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
now, if it gets to the point where it gets serious, yes, and you feel like you can trust them, but I don't trust men or women. I'm not trusting just anybody because, we might be intimate that I'm going to be leaving my children with you. Are you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Nah. People don't realize, like, no, you got to be way more careful how you moving around with the choices you make for your children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And people don't realize too, like the choices that you make in life. And yeah,
Land of funny.
these guys with the Houston stuff, man. The choices you make in life, a lot of that revolves around your child or around your children. You know, um, it can go from your work responsibilities, business
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities, because it's like that child is like the core, the nucleus of your life,
Yep.
and people don't realize how important children are, and
Yep.
I think that the women who are like in that feminist mind state, you know, if they just hone out and just focus on, hey, listen, the key is to get married and then have a child. I think
Exactly.
that's what that yeah, sometimes it doesn't always work out like that,
Right.
but that is the agenda. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yep.
And sometimes we get distracted by what we see on TV. We see on TV, we see on media, we see everybody they posting this, that, and third, but they not posting. Yeah, I'm saying, like how important a marriage needs to be. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um,
Right.
but my boy Orlando's crazy, man. He said the children are the few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, man. So, but yeah, relationships are important. Relationships are important.
Yep.
I think friendships are important too. I think friendships
Mm-hmm.
are underrated. And
Yep.
before you get into a relationship, friendships need to be honored. Like
I agree.
that friendship should last for at least, I used to say 6 months to a year, but I think you should be a friend with a woman for at least a year before you even think about being putting a title on it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about titles like that? The boyfriend title, the girl. Are we too old to be saying this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend? Like what? How do you feel about that whole title thing? This is my
For me personally,
man. Like, what's up with that?
for me personally, I don't really put an emphasis on titles until it's established that's what both parties want. So
Okay.
I'm not coming to you like, if I'm dating someone, eventually I would like to feel like, okay, we're exclusive with each other, because I'm territorial and I like mine to be mine. But again, I'm not trying to claim nothing that don't want to be claimed. So I like to move at the pace that my person is moving. So I often like, I'm going to check in, touch bases like, yo, so what's up? How you feeling? This is how I'm feeling, X, Y, and Z. So I sometimes I do, and this is something I've noticed from younger. When we put an emphasis on titles, sometimes there's pressures that come with that could like mess up and taint the dynamic. You know what I mean? Just like you said, you feel like people should be friends at least 6 months to a year before they start putting titles. I absolutely agree,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because I like to be my lover's friend because I'm
Okay.
silly. You know what I mean? And that's just my dynamic. I like to feel like I'm comfortable. I don't want to ever be around somebody that I'm dating. I can't be intimate with you if I don't have a friendship with you. So I absolutely agree with that. But I do think that sometimes you can complicate things by trying to force a title on it. Now, if it's agreed by both parties and it happens naturally, then go with it. Whether you my man, my boo, my little boo thing, my little, yeah, that's my little, I'm real cool. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you
Mm-hmm.
want to call that person. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it more emphasis should be put, well, no, because I could get complicated. I'm think now I got to put myself in a woman's stance because you could say that, let's say me and you were dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've been rocking for like a good year and we don't
Mm-hmm.
have no titles, but whenever we see each other, it's great. We spend time together, we do all this, no title.
Yeah.
And now I'm catching feelings
Mm-hmm.
and I'm on someone like, damn, he introduced me. He just be like, hey, this is Joy. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So women thinking like, well, he ain't say that was his lady, so it's free reign for me. And me being
Yeah.
territorial, now I'm starting to get on my territorial, like, well, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think when like certain things can be established where conversations can be
Mm-hmm.
had, but for the
Yeah.
most part, I don't like to stress the titles. I feel like they should come naturally. If you want me to be a lady,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be a lady. You want to call me your little girlfriend? We're dating. This is my lady friend, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be that, and it'll be mutual. But yeah, I know it could get complicated and technical when
Yeah.
we add
Yeah.
the titles on for
Yeah.
sure.
You're right. You're right. You're right. So our brothers, they're posting some good
Mama.
comments. I respect Orlando's comment. He's saying that he doesn't even think marriage should be the goal. Find true love. Yeah, that's true because when you
Mm-hmm.
focus on just like I gotta get married, I gotta get married. Sometimes focus. It's like when you're praying for something.
Hmm.
Don't pray to get married. Pray to find love
Right.
in marriage.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's like when a woman prays for a man. No, just pray for a man.
Word.
Pray for a good man, a man
Yeah.
that's going to love you, a man that's going to honor you, and things of
Yeah.
that nature. So
Yeah.
I feel where Orlando's coming from.
Yeah.
Situationships, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Situationships. I think that's like the beginning platform to where you can kind of figure out before you figure out, okay, if this is my lady or if this is my
Mm-hmm.
man, because you're right, titles do make a difference
Right.
when you are in like a public place. Because
Right.
when you're introducing, that was a perfect example. When you're introducing you to someone, it's like, okay, you just said Joy or this is Lamont or what have you, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't know nothing. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to have some type of and then people they'll know about
Right.
energy. And
Right.
another thing too, this is a free world.
Mm-hmm.
This is a free world. So even
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't have that title, even if you didn't have that title, and that dude decided to holler at you, It's up to you to say, "Oh, nah, I'm good." You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Or it's up to me to be like, "Nah, I'm good, sis. I'm good." You know what I'm saying? And
Now,
that's it.
just like you said, right? Energy and free world, right? Now, you
Yeah.
know how many times I'll be walking down the street, and not even now, more so like 20 years ago, whatever, and walking down the street, somebody trying to talk to me, and I'll be like, no, thank you, I'm married. Well, I don't see a ring. I don't see a ring, ma, or you married, why you out here? If you was mine, you know what I'm saying? So you got men where they like the challenge and they be like, well, if he ain't claiming you, or if he was really claiming you, then he would have this. So then some people often let outsiders dictate, certain things that should be in place in their relationship based on what outsiders think. But again, it comes down to confidence and just having that trust within each other. If we know we good, we good. If I know how you treat me and how I treat you, and it is what it is, then what's the saying? How does it go? What's often left unsaid doesn't have to be explained. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's often left unsaid doesn't. I could be saying it wrong. Sorry, y'all, but
It's
you
all
get what
right.
I'm trying to say.
Got
Like,
you.
you know what I mean? Like you have this dynamic with your person. I've known some people where they dated for years, old people where they've never gotten married, but that's their everybody knows, oh, that's Mr. Such and such, and that's Miss Such and such, and
Yeah.
they're a couple. You wouldn't even know that they're legally not married because they've just been together forever. And I don't feel
Yeah.
like that's for anybody on the outside to judge how they decide they want their dynamic to be. If it
Mm-hmm.
works for them,
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
what's
And
understood doesn't
transparency.
have to be said. Thank you, Lando. I
Facts.
couldn't think of it. Mr.
Facts.
Earl.
We putting our AP to work. I'm gonna have to type that down. So, um, transparency is king though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're in a state of mind and you're like, hey, listen, babe, I want to feel like I'm claimed. I want to feel claimed.
Mm-hmm.
I want to feel like, you know, if that guy
Mm-hmm.
is, if he's in that spiritual moment or in that spiritual realm, he'll be like, you know what? All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want me to claim you?
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that makes a big difference, in what level of the relationship it'll go to.
Yeah.
Um,
I have
one of them said,
a question for you.
"What's up?"
I have a question for you. Have you ever been in a long distance relationship? And if not, could you see yourself taking someone seriously that lived at a distance from you?
What do you mean by like how far? We talking like
Um,
New York, Atlanta, New York?
maybe it's like New York and like Virginia or something, or maybe like the Carolinas. It doesn't have to be as far as Atlanta. Like, it's a
Yeah,
few hours away. You can't just, it's a good drive.
yeah.
Let's say if it's like that.
I, yeah, I've never been in a long distance relationship before.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely give it a try and see
Mm-hmm.
how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was actually talking to one of my good girlfriends about that not too long ago, who moved to Charlotte,
Mm-hmm.
and she was dating somebody who lived out here in New York. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, if a man can stimulate your mind um,
Thank you.
without being with you in the present,
Mm-hmm.
and being in your presence, then that shows a lot about how much he means to you. You
Yeah. Right. I
understand what I'm
agree.
saying? Because while she's not with you and she's on the street or whatever, if she's thinking about you, that's enough to keep her away from the other dudes.
Right.
You understand
Right.
what I'm
Because you
saying?
have some women, right? You have some women, they'll be like, no, my man is such and such, and I'm going to. I used to be one of them. I
Yeah.
had a long distance relationship. That's why I laughed at what Lo said because, again, this was from 20 years ago, but I met him here in New York. He was up here hustling, but he actually lived in the Carolinas, but he was from Baltimore. So
Mhm.
he would often go between New York, Baltimore, and the Carolinas. And every week, this is before I had children, of course, but every weekend we made sure we did what we needed to do to see each other. Was it ideal? No, but I think because we were young and didn't have a lot of obligations back then, it was so much easier for us to just jump and see each other. If I wanted to put in time at work and stay out there for a week, I was. If he, like I said, he hustled, so he came up here, he was on his own time. But realistically, fast forward to now, I run a household, I have children. That's what made me think, like, I know it's not impossible, but I know it definitely is a challenge. And I just was curious, like, for you being a man, do you see, because I know often men feel like, nah, I want my lady like at my, easily accessible to me. So
Mhm.
that's why I was curious, like, what did you think? Would you be able to do it? Do you feel like it's something that you could take seriously, or you think it could be just like a weekend thing? We just, go
Mhm.
check each other and it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, but you hit it right in the nose. Like, we have obligations in life, you know, kids, work, business, or what have you.
Right,
When you're busy like that, like it's not like when we was younger, we ain't have no responsibilities. You know
right.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
now we older, we got kids, we got things we gotta do. So it's like, okay, on my downtime might be every weekend.
right,
My downtime might be every other weekend, or I might have a free day or a day or two during the middle of the week or whatever the case is.
right.
But you work on it. You continuously
Yeah,
work on it, and then it's like if you ain't see that person in 6 7 days, when you see them, it's not gonna feel like 6 or 7 days
right.
because you're so busy doing other things,
Yeah, right.
occupying your time, occupying your space.
Yeah, right.
But if you don't have that type of security, right? And
Mm-hmm.
mentally and spiritually, then you're gonna feel like you need, like, oh my God, I need him every single day. If I don't see him
Yeah,
today, I gotta see him tomorrow. If I don't see
yeah,
him tomorrow, I gotta see him the third day.
yeah.
No. Go to the gym. If you ain't got no kids, go to the gym. Go do this, do that. If you got kids, take care of your kids. Pick up a book,
Hey,
read something. No, no.
pick up a
Yeah,
hobby.
get a hobby. Read, do
Mhm.
something.
Yeah, I agree. And then it also I guess it's determined by the level of passion between both people. Do you have enough passion to where you feel like, you know, it just builds momentum for you. So like you said, if you can't see each other for once every week or 2 weeks, but the passion's so strong, it's just like, you explode when you see each other. I guess for some people that would make it worth it. But then again, you have other people that are just like, nah, I need mine like where I could reach you. Like I might come
Yeah.
home drunk on a Friday and I want to be able to call you. And that I understand. Like, I understand that
Yeah,
too.
but you have to be able to be mature.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm saying you got to be mature. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody wants that moment. Oh, yeah, I'm out with my girlfriends or whatever the case is, and we
Yeah.
got drunk. I want to see you right now, sis.
Right.
Make a phone call, get you something to eat, and take your ass to bed.
Right. She better get her a pocket rocket.
Oh, thank you. Get you a toy. Get you a
You better
toy.
you better go get some money. Learn how to use that palm. Who is it? Palmetto
Exactly. We're gonna start selling toys on here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for all occasions.
you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different things you can do, man. You know what I mean? It's you could be watching the podcast or something like that. There's so many different things, to be doing with your time.
Right.
Because that's smothering shit. That smothering shit is whack, man.
Yeah.
You you
I
you
agree.
you can mess up a good relationship. You know what I mean? So yeah, back to
Yep.
that. Yeah, depending on the long distance relationship, it can work depending on like the person. They have to be active in this long distance relationship.
Yeah.
You got to be consistent. You got to communicate. You got to be active. Do you think that a man can love two women, or do you think a woman can love two men?
I know they can. I know they can. Absolutely. Is it fair? No. But listen, I just know I don't never want to be in no situation like that. I have been. And one thing I know, complicated situations, someone always gets hurt. So
So you,
yeah, I've
so
been in
you, so you,
situations where
okay. So you was able to love two men, but it didn't work out.
I had to choose one. And
Okay.
really what it was So again, back to the long distance thing. Ain't no longer distance relationship than being with somebody who's in jail, trying to do a bid with somebody who's in jail. That is the ultimate form of a long distance relationship, even if you're in the same state that they're sentenced to, because again, you're on someone else's time. You can't just jump up and see each other when you want. Even when you do see each other, it's restricted. So you got to make sure that you have some kind of level of loyalty, passion, whatever you determine your definition of loyalty is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the case for me. Having a nigga locked up, nigga got some time, some years, and it's like, okay, first year and a half maybe held it down, and after a while it's like, all right, fuck it, I'm a little lonely out here, out entertaining this nigga XYZ. And then you actually catch feelings for this person. So it came down to a point, don't judge me, y'all.
Okay.
It came down to a point where I had to decide, because as a man is going to see it like, well, you violated anyway. Me, I saw it as, if I was the one in jail, I would have had to chuck it up to my nigga doing whatever he was going to do while I was home, and just hope that when I came home, he kept it respectful and I didn't find nothing out. So that's basically how I moved. I wasn't in the street. I wasn't messing around with mad guys, but I did basically have like a boyfriend. And it came, but I let him know the situation. Yo, I got a man, he's locked up, but he's doing some time XYZ. It was supposed to just start out as something fun. We end up catching feelings for each other, and we fell for one another. But now when it came down to countdown time, my man is about to come home. It hurt, but I told him like, yo, he's about to come home, and I did not want to hurt him. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't gonna violate him and hurt his feelings, whatever. So I said it. I gotta end this with you out of respect for him. Even though, again, people will be like, well, you wasn't respecting him in the first place, whatever. But he never knew. You know what I'm saying? I never had him thinking while I was fucking around with somebody else while he was locked up. And as much as I would have tried to explain it, his pride wouldn't have understood what I was saying anyway. So I just made sure, he just never found out about it. I would never violate him and let him find out about it. But the other guy was hurt. And he tells me to this day, I broke his heart. Yes. No, go lay back down. He told me to this day I broke his heart.
Mm.
And it was hard. I didn't want to, because I did have feelings for him too. But I would say I had more loyalty to
When I was
my
locked up.
man that was locked up. Yeah. And I wouldn't violate him like that, but like leaving him or breaking up with him, because he was in jail. I couldn't do that.
What's
But
what's
yeah,
the
I would
what's
never do the
what's
same
the
again.
longest? So would you ever deal with a man who was in love with another woman? Like he loved you and loved another woman?
I have. Involuntarily, I didn't know, and then when I found out, instantly I was like, well, I'm never going to give no man no ultimatum. If the moment I feel like I got to give a man an ultimatum, he already made his choice in my mind. I'm not forcing you to make no choice. So once I understood that he was in love with her, it was just a decision for me, like, go do you. And he didn't want to let me go, but again, it just was like, I can't play backseat in a relationship, and not my relationship. I can be passenger with my man, and I can even take over and drive if you need me to. That's our dynamic. But the play backseat to somebody else, I'm not built for that. I can't. So once I saw he
So
was in love with somebody else, it hurt.
yeah.
But I'm never gonna. Because then, what kind of karma do I get for trying to force
Mm-hmm.
you to be with me? I'm only setting myself up for heartbreak and disappointment for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
So
I'm
it's
good.
impossible to love two. You feel it's impossible to love two women at
I don't think I think it's absolutely possible, but I know I'm just not going to participate in it.
you're not gonna deal with it.
Yeah, yeah, go do you.
Yeah. So what that's true. So what's the longest bid you can do with a man?
In jail,
Yeah.
I did two. So
Okay, 2 years.
the no, I did two separate bids.
Oh,
So the first
okay.
one again was from 20 years ago. That was homeboy. I told you was hustling, all up and down I-95. He got
Mhm.
sentenced to 4.5 years. That's when I was young, and then maybe about like 4 years later, I got into my second relationship, but that wasn't as long. That was like about 2 years. And
Mhm.
that was it for me. That was in my 20s. I wouldn't do it again. That was me being young and in love, before I had children. you know, and then
Mm-hmm.
again, I have like a loyalty thing with me where, you know, I be, you know, so
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that was my cap. That little 4.5 and that separate one that was 2 years, and that was it for me. I'm all bitted out.
Yeah, he said Joey like yeah. So that was the
Joy
you.
like goons. Who said Atlanta? No,
That
I'm
was
too old for that now. I
yeah.
don't do that no
That
more.
was the old you. That was the old. I mean, back in the days, women, y'all like. Why did y'all like those? Was it a sense of security, or was it like a money
No,
thing?
because
Like,
I've
what was it?
always, and for me, I didn't have one type. I've liked guys who were nerdy. I've liked guys who've had corporate jobs, you know, different things. I'm attracted to like personality over looks for me. So it wasn't a thing of like, oh, a nigga's gangster and it was a turn on. It was like we connected and we just connected in like with both situations. We just connected in ways that was like, nah, like I don't want this to go nowhere. And then for the first one, I didn't know he was on the run.
Oh
So when
shit!
he did
Damn.
get wrapped up, yeah, when he got wrapped up, he got caught in Virginia. So they was trying to throw the book at him. So he actually got 10 years, but he got 7.5 suspended. And because he had warrants from another state, once he did that year and a half, the 2.5 years, the other state came and they grabbed him and he did another year and a half or 2 years, some shit like that. So yeah, again, it wasn't something that it was ideal to me. It wasn't something that I glorified. It was because I fell in love with him. And at the
Mm-hmm.
time, I knew he was a soulmate. We saw that instantly in each other. So for me, it was like, oh, I'm here. Like, got him
Mm-hmm.
tatted on me and everything. Like, oh, I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. And then you start to grow up like, all right, this is a little more challenging than I realized it would be.
So like,
But yeah, that was it.
how did the cops find him? Like, y'all was just like, he broke in the
So,
house.
so like I said, he used to hustle, right? And I guess, you know, drug dealers, they be smacking crackheads sometimes when they come out of pocket. And I used to always tell them, like, you can't just be out here smacking crackheads and think because you hustle, they're not going to do nothing back. So he smacked a crackhead, and the next time he went to serve her, he had the police right in her house waiting for him. Like he went to the bathroom, when he came out the bathroom, they was there. So he knew that she had set him up. And because once they ran his print, they saw he already had a warrant from another state. It was a wrap. It was quiet for him. So yeah.
Damn.
But again, it's like you can't just be out here smacking people and shit because they a fucking crackhead. You know, like you gotta.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess he learned that way.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. That's
Yeah.
deep. That's deep. So what?
That is
What?
not true, Lo. I've dated teachers. I've dated corporate men. I've dated a man who was a banker. I've dated someone who was a trader on Wall Street. You know, I mean, and don't get it confused. Don't mean because I dated, I mean I slept with them. But I love a bastard. I love intelligence. I love intelligent men. So even though with
Mm-hmm.
him, even though he was a hustler, he was one of
Mm-hmm.
the smartest men that I've ever met. I was
Mm-hmm.
so, and that's what it is. I'm a sapio. I'm attracted to intelligence.
Got you.
So he taught me so much. So that's what it
Mm-hmm.
was. You know, I didn't judge him because he sold drugs. I fell in love with his mind and how intelligent he was and how I felt like he wasn't living up to his potential. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I love a hardworking man. I actually really love blue collar men because my dad is a carpenter. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
don't say that low. And look,
Mm-hmm.
Lando talking shit too. You gotta have at least one felony to get with Joy. Y'all shooting at me tonight. It's all right. It's all good. Y'all can talk your shit. It's all good.
What?
It's
So
all
what?
good.
What? Like when you talk? Well, I got arrested once. What? Now you gotta be on the run, Lo. You gotta be. You gotta be. You gotta be most wanted or some shit, man.
Funny. Yeah, I'm funny.
What? What?
Yeah,
What
I'm
are? What
funny.
are the when you talk to your girlfriends, right?
Mhm.
What is like the top two or three issues they have with a man? You know, like
Consistency.
okay.
Consistency is mainly the problem. We were doing
Okay.
so good, and then it's like cons- someone being inconsistent and someone being unheard. So
Okay.
now I notice that in our age group, it is at least my immediate friends, nobody wants to be the nagger. I don't want to keep telling you I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy. And then it's almost like holding on to somebody because whether it's out of comfort and familiarity and not starting all over again with somebody else, it's like, well, I'm unhappy and things are still, I still feel unheard, but it beats having to date again. So I would say those are the two main things. Just hold on to
Okay.
what's familiar because I don't want to start
Yeah.
out there. Especially as a woman, you getting older, you start thinking, I don't want to add another body to my list. What is this going to be? Somebody I'm talking to for 4 months before I really see, all right, whether he's about something or not. Then I decide I'm going to give him some and then just be like, why wasting my time? So
Yeah.
sometimes it's safer to just stick with what you know, even though you're
Yeah.
unhappy. You just
He's
kind of
not
hope
that
like, well,
bad.
eventually they'll get it.
He's not that bad.
Right. He's not that bad. Yeah, like,
Hmm.
you know, now you at the point where you can shit in front of him comfortably. You know,
Hmm.
you can wake up ugly in front of him, go to sleep ugly in front of him, roll over, he gonna push it in if he want, and whatever, that
Yeah.
level of comfortability there, but yet it's like you still unhappy in some aspect. But that's
Mm.
the main three things. Well, I think I named main two things: inconsistency and what's the other one? I forgot what I said the other one, but inconsistency is a main one. Feeling unheard.
Mm.
Feeling unheard.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I realized too, that women are more acceptive to men who cheat.
Yes. Yes. For me, that's why I said I know my definition of loyalty is skewered. I don't feel like, okay, for me, being loyal to me is showing me you have integrity. Certain things you wouldn't do, right?
Hmm.
So you wouldn't sleep with my sister or my cousin or my best friend. You wouldn't be sleeping with my big booty homegirl that I bring around you because she got a banging body. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be staring at her and lusting after her, even though like she's beautiful, she's bad, but you're not gonna be lusting and staring at her and making it obvious that you're watching her because you have integrity and you know not to violate. You know what I mean? So it's like for me, loyalty is having integrity. I understand. I'm at an age where for a few years now, understand you might act out on urge. I'm not saying it's okay,
Hmm.
but I'm saying you might get some grace and understanding if number one, you did your best to make sure I didn't fucking find out about it if you knew it would hurt my feelings. And number two, you didn't do it with nobody that I would see. Don't
Yeah.
violate. Don't do it with
Yeah.
nobody that you know past me
Wow.
because it's not a thing of you decided to act out on a impulse, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be reminded that if I'm saying I'm claiming you and this is my DSCK or whatever, I'm trying to keep it clean because I told you, I got a potty mouth. But
Okay.
if I'm saying that this is my man and that's my dick, just where you take pride as a nigga and you like, that's my pussy. I'm not gonna fuck somebody that I know you work with, or I'm not looking to get involved with anybody else that could rub it in your face.
Yeah.
That's a different level of depravity. Knowing that that person crosses your person, whether in paths or whatever, you got to see this person. So for me, that is loyalty. If you feel like you're gonna step out, don't do it with nobody that I'm gonna see or come across, so we even in the same circles, because now you violated. That's why
Yes. Violation.
I feel like
Violation
as
of
a
code.
woman, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, all right, you cheated. I'm gonna be mad and I'm
Hmm.
gonna get my lick back. You may not ever find out,
Oh
but
damn.
I'm gonna get my lick back.
So you gonna get your
But
lick back?
for sure, but that's just me. I'm spiteful. I'm not even hold you. I'm spiteful.
Yeah.
I'm
So if you
spiteful.
found out he was cheating, are you gonna tell him you found out, or are you gonna just get your lick back?
It depends on who the person is to me. If we're in the same household, I already know it's gonna put a fire in me where I'm not even gonna be able to hide it. You're gonna know something's wrong with me. And especially because I'm always bubbly, bubbly joy all day. Instantly, you're gonna know when I have an attitude. So my whole shit shifts. So I'm not gonna be able to hide that. So we have a conversation, especially if I already know for a fact, and we have that conversation. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you that's what I'm gonna do, but you're gonna have your own feeling because you're gonna know me. And I'm gonna let it be known from jump. If you don't like to be violated, don't violate me because I'm very spiteful. And I guarantee you my look back is gonna hurt you way more than yours hurt me. I guarantee you.
So your attitude is gonna change. Like you're gonna get like tight. You're gonna feel like when you cheat, you're gonna feel like uncomfortable.
Not uncomfortable, but I know it'll sting. So again,
Okay.
it depends on the sting. It depends on how much it stings.
Okay.
And it depends on, again, the
So
dynamic.
is this so when you cheat with this person, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
this gonna be somebody who was like been on you for like a long time, so it doesn't feel like like it's somebody out the blue?
I probably wouldn't go sleep with a new person because again, I'm not looking to add no new bodies to my list. Like, so
You know
it's
how you
probably not going to be a
you
new
got
person.
you know how you got that guy in the DM and you like, oh, he cute or whatever the case is, but I got a man, I ain't fucking with him. But the nigga constantly trying to get at you. So that's the nigga.
If
That's the nigga that you going cheat.
I probably would go on a date, but not sleep with him. But I would
Okay.
go on a date. I would. I probably go on a date. Like, let me see what this nigga's about, just to get the attention. And it's really, it's really like an ego stroke.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it, it
yeah,
really
yeah.
is the ego stroke. Like just to be like, word. All right, I got you. That happened to me a few years ago too. My ex, I felt it. I felt it. Felt it like a mother. Something. I felt it. It was off. And for whatever reason, my phone would not cut on. I was at my sister's
Mhm.
house and I'm sitting there tight. It wouldn't charge. It wouldn't turn on. And I just had this knot in my stomach. I couldn't explain. I already know this nigga is doing something. So soon I was chilling at my sister's house trying to distract myself. As soon as I get home, my phone starts working, plug it in. I call this nigga. Where you at? Oh, I'm on my way home now. Gets home in like 15, 20 minutes. Homeboy comes in. He gets uncomfortable. He starts getting ready for bed. Phone rings. So now I already knew he was doing something. So I look at the phone. I see someone's name, a female's name. So I look
Mhm.
at him. I didn't even say nothing. He answers the phone. He puts it on speaker. He dummy.
Mhm.
She goes, "Oh, where you at? Why you just left like that? I'm waiting for you. Where you at? Where you at?" So I'm staring dead at him like, word. So he just like, nah, I told them niggas, like trying to play it off, like, nah, them niggas is still over there. Nah, I had to come home, da 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 da. In my mind, I'm like, word, got you. The next
Mhm.
day, it was a beautiful day outside. He went and he took my daughter to his parents' house. So all day I'm already like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Now I wasn't gonna fuck nobody else because at the end of the day I still lay in the same bed with this man. But I'm going outside. So all I did was I called a throwback. Throwback that I know we have a great time, no stipulations. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And I enjoyed my motherfucking day. And the whole day, it's like I'm skipping like I'm a little kid, because in my mind I'm like, I got my little
Mhm.
lick back, and because for me, I still have integrity. I wasn't gonna sleep with him. I know I could have if I wanted to, but for me, my own personal choice, I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna sleep with him. But I had
Yeah.
a great damn time, a great time, and I came in the house like 3, 4 in the morning. This nigga was tight. Oh,
Mhm.
where was that? Don't ask me shit. And I kept it at that.
Mhm.
And I ain't hear nothing else
Yeah.
about it after that. You gotta eat that, right? Yeah, so eat that. And we
Yeah.
left it at that.
Yeah. 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 I feel like if a woman needs if she actually goes to the point of sleeping with somebody, like just
Yeah,
leave, homie.
yeah.
Just leave them because the it might be a situation where you might be like, damn, yo, I want to go back to the nigga.
And
Now
not
you
even that,
jumping.
but for me, I don't like too many dicks on the dance floor. I've never been the type to dance with more than one man at a time. That always made me feel uncomfortable. So the same thing in my intimate life. I'm not mixing and mingling You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. Whether it's with protection or not, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was already like, I'm gonna have to go sleep with the nigga to know you're gonna be tight because you don't know where I'm at, but you just assuming your mind is going. So for me, that was enough get back in that situation where it's like, I'm outside and I'm outside with somebody that you wouldn't approve of, but you can't say nothing. You just gotta eat that. But
Mm.
I went and yeah, I don't too many dicks on the dance floor ain't my thing.
Yeah. 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 You don't want that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah,
Hold on, they
because
talking
next,
shit in the chat. Who said what?
yeah, yeah, they go, they homie could have clipped you. Yeah, it could have got.
I'm grabbing my passport. Now I gotta up that and be going for a whole week. That's a dangerous game. Homie could have clipped you. Who could have clipped me? What you mean, like killed me? Or what you mean, like
So,
rape? What do you mean clip me?
so speaking of passports, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a woman gets flown out by a man, do you think that she's like she should be having sex with this guy? Like,
Okay, so I have certain questions for that. Like, number one, does she already know him? Is this somebody brand new and he's flying her out for the first time? Um, you know, First of all, I'm not flying nowhere and not think that some man is not expecting to get something. I'm just going to be realistic, but that's just me. That's even down to, excuse me, being younger. And I teach my nieces this from when they first started becoming teenagers. Don't ever, ever, ever go over to somebody's house and think that he might not think there's a possibility he's going to get some. If you know you are absolutely not trying to open your legs or do anything, do not go over there. I don't care how much you like him, because you will find yourself in a situation where some trauma could develop from that. So don't even go. So now when it comes to a man flying a woman out, be realistic. If he flying now, unless it's already established he's just a trick and he's really not expecting nothing, maybe he gets some kind of satisfaction from a woman's company, whether he's in a marriage that's stale and loveless and he just likes the trophy thing. Maybe it gives him some kind of satisfaction of thinking maybe he could, but he wouldn't violate. Then that's a risk you're going to take. It's not one I'm willing to take. I'm not
mm-hmm,
flying nowhere and think that a man is not expecting some kind of engagement with me unless that's already established. And again, then why am I going out there?
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? If that's the case, then I'm not going by myself or with friends. I'm gonna bring a little buddy with me, my little homegirl or something,
mm-hmm,
because again, that's dangerous. You don't know what you're flying over there to do. Now, what if he's a trafficker, and now your family, now you somewhere in Russia or Saudi Arabia getting camel turds smeared all over you, and you can't
mm-hmm.
go home. You know what I mean? Like, why
That's
take that
true.
chance?
That's true. Yes, bring your home girl too. Wow. Yeah. I mean, would that make things easier? You know what I'm saying? If you That's hilarious.
Hold on, you better pack the best pussy you got in that suitcase if I'm flying you out. According to these new rules and cases lately, flying someone out is jail worthy. Yeah, if it's with an intention of sex, that's trafficking. Yes, bring your homegirl too. Oh, it's lit. Yes, bring your homegirl too. So does that mean the homegirl gets the free flight too?
That's what
Is
I'm
her flight
saying.
getting paid for too?
Yeah, both girls get their flights paid for, hotel, lodge.
He might
You understand
have
what
a
I'm saying?
homie for your homegirl. Unless
Yeah.
unless they want to put on a show for him.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Right. Sounds like
That's
a
a
good ass time, I guess.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm the intention is buddy pass for that.
Yo, y'all retarded. But he
so
passed for that ass.
so how do you feel about one night stands?
Hmm. I I can't front. I used to always look down on them being younger. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've never had that meet somebody in a club or meet somebody at a bar and then sleep with them, like not know them and sleep with them. I've never done the one night stand thing, but I be trying. I guess today I try not to judge because I've had a few homegirls that They wear that shit like a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I met this nigga. Da, 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 da. And I just be like, word?
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't scared? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. But for me, it's a risk. Like, I don't know. It's a risk. I mean, I can't say that I've never met somebody and, you know, wasn't intimate that first time. That's not something that was common for me, but it has happened and I didn't have any regrets. But it wasn't just that one time, wham, bam, that was it. So I've
But
never
okay,
had a one night stand
so
experience.
what do you consider a one night stand?
I think when you meet somebody and you sleep with them, oh no, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It don't have to be you just meet somebody that day and sleep with them. But I think the one night stand is you guys are intimate for that one time and then that's it. You don't speak about it. You don't do it again. That's how I would define a one night stand. Like that one time and then that was it.
He said, I married my one night stand.
I'm married. My one night stand. How's that working for you, Lo? I'm
Yeah,
curious. What if y'all
but
were
you got
following
to
each other
remember.
for a minute first? But that's what I'm saying. So if y'all was following each other, yeah, and then you only did it once and then you didn't do it again, then I think that would qualify as a one night stand, even if y'all was following each other. No,
Okay,
you disagree?
okay, so I think I displayed the question wrong because one night stand is when you have sex with the person. I meant to say on the first night, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Because
uh-huh.
because one night stand is when you have sex with that person that one time and you don't have sex with them again.
Right, 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 right.
So, what do you consider having sex on the first night? Is it the first night you go on a date? Is it the first night you meet the person in the street or at a club? Like like what is the definition of the first night now? Because as we get older, when we was coming up, having sex on the first night was I went to a club, brought a bottle,
Hmm.
took it to M&G's for breakfast, and, and we got a telly, and I got some on the first night.
Right.
So is the first night now modern time, we're talking on Instagram or whatever the case is, you know, uh I probably met you once or twice here and there, and then we go out to eat or whatever the case is. Is that considered the first night?
I think so. I think, well, for me, it's more so like, yeah, the first night you chill, if you smash
Yes.
the first night you chill, that's first night activities. Like, yeah.
Okay. Is that honorable?
Um, I used to not do it when I was younger because not that I'm doing it now, but especially when I was younger because I carry a lot of pride in how I would carry myself. And I would just always be like, I just never wanted a guy to look at me like I was a hoe or fast or promiscuous. So even if it was like we chill the first night, make out, whatever, but let's just wait. I was on my Janet Jackson shit, like let's wait a while type thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I never wanted to give the impression like I was easing. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but there was an instance where I did the first time we chilled and I didn't regret it. Like I felt like it was a great bond that developed after that. So I didn't have any regrets about it. But it was when I was much older. When I was younger, nah, I was quiet for that. You wasn't getting no pussy. But again, that's why I also said I would not go to a place where intimacy could be possible because I've also had situations that got scary where, people don't hear no and they trying to take what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I absolutely tell my nieces from now, like, don't even go. Yeah, you could tell a nigga that all you want, saying, well, I'm not, I'm not doing nothing, not doing nothing. And he gonna be like, yeah, yeah, I know, no, no, it's fine, just come, just come, just come.
Mm-hmm.
And you getting over there, and next thing you know, you fighting for your life. So
Yeah.
that's why for me back then it was like a nah, I'm not even giving mixed signals. I'm not on no Uchi Wally shit over here. First night is quiet. Let me get to know you first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm.
But that was just me. Like, I try not to judge my friends that did it, but I would, even some females, when they used to be like, yeah, I had sex with him, and then later on that night I had sex with him, or the next day, I used to judge that shit like crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it Those were the one they like for me because it just kind of again it was the too many dicks on the dance floor mentality I had like
Tango.
whole
Yeah.
shit. It was like yeah, it was like whole stuff like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But again, everybody got their own choices they make. Now being older, I'm not as judgmental with certain things like that. When I guess when it comes to adults, young girls, nah, I'm still gonna be judgmental. Like, nah, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about, how you feel at that moment. If you guys are vibing, you know,
Right,
because, it's not, you don't want to say, oh, tomorrow's not promised, but it's because of course it's not. That's obvious, right? But, you know, if you feel in the vibe, why not? Yeah,
right.
understand
And
what I'm saying?
again, right, it's being an adult, yes. And that's where I felt justified in the instance where I did. And I told you I didn't have any regrets. It was because it's like, you live once and I went with the vibe. Like you said, the vibe was intense, it was
Yeah.
strong, it was a lot of chemistry. And of course, I asked myself several times, like, bitch, is this going to be something you regret? But I absolutely didn't. I didn't that day. And to this day, I still have no regrets about like how it played out. But again,
Mm-hmm.
that's not, my regular normal behavior when I'm just out here like, yeah, what's up? Let's link. And
Mm-hmm.
nah, like I really came to a point where after my last relationship didn't work, I just was on like some celibacy stuff. Like I just kept to myself, you know, even though I had options in the bank, I could go on the ball and be like, yo, what's up? I just wouldn't. And for me, it was just more important. Like, let me just again reset, recalibrate. Let me get some understanding as to why it's possible, like how I can take accountability for why my relationships aren't working before I'm trying to be intimate with somebody else. The next thing you know, I'm taking on what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And again, it's also understanding the energy exchange
Mm-hmm.
with somebody you're intimate with.
Yeah.
So it's like,
The
somebody can
souls
have a
intertwining. Yeah.
yes,
The spirits are
yes.
intertwining. Yeah. That
It,
makes
it
sense.
definitely is an energy exchange and it is very soul binding. It's a soul bond, whether you have protection or not. You're now, you can be tied to this person. I learned
Mm-hmm.
this after I had my daughter that they did a study on some women that died. They were like, well into their later years, and they were doing autopsies on their brain, and they were finding male DNA in their brain. So they were thinking, this was from them having, being pregnant with boys at some point. Until they dug a little deeper, and they saw some of these women never bore children at all. So then
Wow.
doing some more studying, they realized it was the DNA of partners they were intimate with at some point in their life. So with women, every man you're intimate with leaves a DNA marker in your blood that never goes away. And not only does it never go away, it travels to the brain. So it's almost like a tag up wall. Like they leave their own graffiti DNA mark, their genetic marker in your brain. So whereas 100 years from now they decide to dissect me and test my brain, I'll have the DNA of lovers that I've had in my life. So
Mm-hmm.
that definitely changed my perspective as far as like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now you start thinking back on some that you could have went without. If I could do it all again, I wouldn't. But again, this is something I learned later on in life. So this is something I'm emphasizing to my nieces. Of course, always have your standards, but yeah, realize they, even though they keep it spinning, they stay with you genetically for the rest of your life.
Wow.
So
So I
not
guess
only
so
is it
too
a
much.
soul bind,
Mhm.
it's you left the tag on my wall. No, thank you
Yeah, too much graffiti isn't good.
at all. It makes the place look dirty. Like, what are you doing
Yeah,
here?
it's like
We can't paint
one
over that.
one
Just put
piece of
my
art is
husband's
good.
name.
One piece of art is good. A couple of pieces of art is good. You know.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something about celibacy earlier.
hmm
How long did that last?
So I did go through bouts. Right after I had my twins, me and their dad broke up. Maybe like about when they were about 6, 7 months, 7 months. So it was like a year at first. And then I broke it maybe like around May of 2023. And then I went 5 months, and then I didn't do it from 2023 again until 2024. So it was almost like a year at a time. And then the last time was like 10 months. It was like a 10-month span. So damn near
Okay.
a year. And at first it was hard, but after a while it's like you really get used to it. And then I was concerned, like, oh, is my sex, because they say if you don't use it you lose it, so is my sex drive going to go down? But no, it really helped me to just be like, I'm not pressed. Like, the
Mm-hmm.
urges just were able to control a little bit better, and I just felt more at peace knowing that I was, I guess, ridding myself of old energies I no longer wanted attached to me. I was okay. So for me, that was more worth it.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. 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 All right. How long do you think a woman can go without sex?
As long as she want, because now I'm hearing that a lot more, that it's like almost a collective thing. A lot more women have been abstaining and being practicing celibacy,
Mm.
where I've seen in the comments someone would be like, yeah, it's been 3 years for me, and I'd be like, whoo, I thought I was going a long time. So I think as long as they really want to, because again, it's like out of sight, out of mind for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a thing of how you can control your urges. Do I want to go 3 years? No, I ain't trying to go 3 years now. I have the
Mm-hmm.
option, but it's just like, I don't be pressed. No thanks.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. 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 I guess they please themselves, so it's like they feel like if they please themselves good, then
Right. Yeah.
you know
And then,
they can
yeah,
last
it's
a
just
little
a matter
longer.
of like, yeah, self love. Pour into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Invest in a good shower head, is what I say.
Mm-hmm. In 4 months, 3 years is a factory reset. Wow.
Wait, what? Wait,
I
what?
guess Lord saying 4 months. Orlando said 3 years is like a factory reset.
3 years of a factory reset. It damn sure. I would say a year is a factory reset. I think a year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say a year is a good reset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Te-
Wow.
Technically, didn't they say the brain regenerates every 7 years? So I guess the DNA don't go nowhere, but
Mhm.
everything else does. I don't know how that works.
Wow.
4
Wow. Yeah.
months. Logan said 4 months for what? For celibacy?
As far, I think he means by how long he thinks a woman could last
4 months? Nah.
with celibacy. Yeah, 4 months. Yeah. See.
Mm.
Oh
I've had a few of my friends asking me like, "How do you do it?" And I'm like, "I just do it." Like it
yeah.
didn't.
You said yours was a year. You said the longest you did was a
Yeah,
year, right?
yeah, a year, and then after that it was like some months, and then 10 months. So yeah.
So like your kid's father wasn't coming over, like trying to like seduce you and stuff like that.
No, no,
Oh, okay,
at
okay.
all. Like once we were done, we were done. We did a lot of makeup to break up over the years,
Mm-hmm.
but that nigga knew I was done. He couldn't even ask to smell it.
So
He would know
why?
better.
So why is the stigma like a man can always get his old thing back when it comes to like having children with them?
I
Like
don't know,
he
because
didn't
that's
do.
not
Did he
true.
do? Did he do some? All right. Do you feel like he did something uh, 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 so horrible? Is that the reason why? Or is it just like you just have like the mentality of like, listen, I'm not going backwards?
Um, at this
Because
point, or
yeah,
at during the breakup.
just uh let's say both then. Because some
Okay.
women, they have this thing where, when they're dealing with a man, they're like, oh, they don't trust that man around a woman, around the kid's
Mhm.
mother, because in their head, that he can always get that piece of coochie back.
Ew, quiet, super silent, not in the slightest. So for me, it was, well, how I got pregnant with the twins. It was a makeup after a breakup type of thing, and for
Mm-hmm.
me, again, it was safer to be intimate with someone that I was already intimate with versus again starting new again. So then when I end up getting pregnant, it was like, okay, let's try this one more time for the family. the family aspect. Like, let's really try this. And then when I was disappointed with that didn't pan out, for me, it just was quiet. Like, because I felt like I went from having 2 children to 4 children. And now here I am, a single mother of 4. So I had a lot of anger. I felt like he trapped me. I know he did, but because he saw I was already on my way out the door, and it was like a attempt. Granted, we both didn't know I was going to get pregnant with twins at the time, but once he saw I was pregnant, he knew it was like, okay, she's not going nowhere. So it's like I had a lot of anger. So he couldn't touch me. I've gotten over that anger, but I just was completely turned off when we broke up because I was so angry. Like I felt like I was angry at myself as well. I took accountability because I felt like I allowed myself to go backwards when I was already making progress.
Good.
So it was nothing he could say or do that would make me want him, because now my reality has changed to where I had to readjust. Even mentally, it's still surreal to me that I have twins. So my reality has been an adjustment for the past 3 years now, to where it's like there's nothing he could say or do that I would want him back. I'm not looking for him at all. It's ew. I don't walk around claiming that one. I'll say that for sure. I respect him. You know, he's a good father. He does what he needs to do. But now it's quiet. So no, even with my first son's dad, you know, I know for a long period of time he was mad at me when I moved on and got pregnant with my daughter, because he felt like, well, you're my baby mother. And I told him from jump, I don't do the baby mother stigma. We're either a family, we're either together or we're not. I'm not doing that baby mother break up the makeup. You think you out here being community dick, but you coming home to me. I said that clear as day. So when I moved on and I got pregnant, he felt like it was a betrayal for him, but we was already broken up for over 2 years. So it was like, it was quiet for me, you know, and ideally, no, I didn't want to have children with multiple people. I was very hard on myself about that as well. But I think somebody's shooting outside. There's any fireworks.
Good.
But again, it's like, you know, I wanted family. And once I saw we weren't going to be family in the same dynamic, okay, so let's just rework the dynamic. But there's absolutely ain't no hopscotching back and forth. I don't at all. Not
Yeah,
in the
so
slightest. No.
yeah, so it was the guidelines for you. You set
Yeah.
guidelines and you stuck
Yeah.
by them.
Yeah.
Stuck by them. Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's good because you know
Thank you.
there's a stigma that yeah, that's good because that's a stigma that you know men like they can always get you know their kid's mother back, you know, or sleep with them or whatever the
Yeah.
case is,
Yeah.
and you know there are women out there like yourself who's like no, you know, I have guidelines and I'm not going back down that road. You
At all.
understand what I'm
And it just
saying?
wouldn't be healthy.
Powerful.
I'm not in that same place to where I could even see myself being intimate. And it's like, it's not healthy. I'm not ill. No, I'm good. No.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't even confuse my children that way. Like if I'm dating, my children they're not introduced to anybody that I'm dating. So all they know is my son's father and their father. That's the only men outside of, you know, men in our family, my dad, cousins, uncles. Those are the only men they know. So there's no confusion. So my children will absolutely be looking like, you know, I'm sure the younger ones will be happy if daddy spent the night, but daddy lives down the block. Y'all could go to his house and wake up and see him there. He can't
I
sleep here.
think that was the major game changer for me with my kid's mom. Like, you know, me not wanting to confuse my daughters
Right,
by you know, continuing to sleep with their mother, you know, going into
right.
bed, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like if that was ever the case,
Right,
and I'm talking about ever, and I'm saying ever with all caps, if that was ever the case,
right.
you know, if that was ever anybody's
Mhm.
case, let's make it even better. You know, do that shit outside the house.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Don't confuse the babies. Yeah.
Shit, do that shit outside the house.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Get a hotel, whatever the case is. Go
Yeah.
anywhere but the staircase. But you
Or
know,
the or Pebble Beach, the roof.
you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. But like,
I
oh,
agree.
because you don't want to confuse the children,
Yeah.
and then now you're causing some type of trauma with them, not knowing how
Yeah.
to, you
Because
know,
now they're gonna want to know,
so
well, how come daddy can't stay? And daddy's coming over again tomorrow. No, you don't do that to them. Like I feel like with younger children, with older ones, they may be more like, ew, what were y'all doing? Like they don't even want to think of the idea of mom and dad doing things like. So I definitely
and
wouldn't
it's
confuse my babies.
and it's the example that you're setting too, because now they're getting
Yeah.
older, and they need to know how to live their life as they get
Yep.
older, and you don't want that to be a cycle. They need to know, like, hey, this is how you live. This is how you're supposed to do it.
Right.
If you're not with this person, don't be living with them.
Right.
And
Right.
that's
That's like
another
with my
topic.
son. My
Yeah.
son's dad. His girlfriend. He's been dating her just as long as my daughter's been alive.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that's when I started seeing her anyway. And we had that talk. If you're gonna have her around my son, I want to meet her. And he did bring her over to my block one day when he was picking up my son. And I went outside and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" But come to find out, Shorty feels some kind of way towards me. And I've
Mm-hmm.
said several times, I don't want your nigga. I don't. I've never came out of face and be like, if I wanted him, I could have him. I don't even want to plant those seeds. I don't want your nigga. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. But what she needs to understand is we're family. You may not like it, but we're family. I'm his family at this point. It's not about I'm his ex. We're not. We're family. And you just respect that. I want to meet you because you're around my son. I want to make sure you're not one of those pinchers or doing little slick shit because you might be mad or whatever, or might be jealous, because that's another thing. Women do get jealous over their
Mm-hmm.
partners, children, especially when they see how much love and unconditional love he
Mm-hmm.
has for their children. So that was big for me. Yeah, let me meet her because I want to make my presence known. I'm not one of them. Don't play. We are not playing. And I see how protective my son's dad is with him. So I know he would never let nothing happen. But again, it's like, she might be one way in front of you and you don't realize she's envying the fact of how much you do for him. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
absolutely gonna make my presence known. What's up? How you doing? I'm his mother. Nice to meet you. Okay. When I see her, hey, how you doing? But now I got a problem with her because I recently found out at my son's 10th birthday party, she had an attitude that I went to my son's grandmother's house to celebrate over there with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, grow up. What you think? I'm an
Mm-hmm.
absentee mom? My son lives with me. Why wouldn't you think I would
Mm-hmm.
be at his birthday party at his grandmother's house? Again, I'm family. So come out of your ego. It's not about I was his ex. I don't want him.
Yeah.
It's been what, like I said, 9 years. I don't want that man. But
Mm-hmm.
we are absolutely family. Respect it. Because
Mm-hmm.
at this point, you're still just a girlfriend. Now, when
Yeah.
you have his baby, now I'm going to see you as family. You understand what I mean? Because that's what's more important to me. Again, it's the dynamic that is reflected on my son, how he sees this dynamic. But don't play with me. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
that one. We're not playing with that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You can definitely see the true colors of a woman.
Lando retarded. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
fight her now. I listen. I ain't fighting because they call it cops. I've learned that. I've had the cops call on me a couple of times, and that's not fun. That ain't fun trying to explain to your babies. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
try
You
to
from
just,
the Bronx.
what that
Um,
mean? They don't be fighting in
uh,
Harlem, Monty.
Ge- girls in Harlem, they fight, but
They fight.
tell us about how the girls fight in Harlem. I feel like the girls in Harlem, they like to jump.
I think that's Brooklyn. Brooklyn is grimy. Brooklyn, they gonna pull something out to cut you. That's for sure.
Orlando and Low. Let's dissect that conversation. I feel like Harlem girls like to jump, number one, or number two, Harlem girls they act like they too pretty to fight. You
That
know,
too. That too.
they feel like they too. You know what I'm saying? Bronx, y'all. I, I don't know. I don't maybe
Bronx what, Monty?
I don't know why the Bronx just has this thing where it's like y'all just be. y'all fight. I just, I just think of when I think of the Bronx, I think of army fatigue.
That's the projects, though. I was just about to say, like with Harlem,
Now,
there's a difference
now
with project girls from each
look,
borough.
yo, look what Orlando said. Orlando from the Bronx. He
Now
said, now
BX and
BX,
BK girl.
Orlando, thank you. Thank you. Harlem girls ain't fighting. Harlem girls ain't fighting. BX girls and the BK girls will cut you.
I
Straight like
almost
that.
had a couple of fights with some Harlem girls. I almost had a couple of fights. We ain't never fight though. I will say that we didn't fight.
Exactly. You
We
said
didn't.
almost. Big
We almost fought
almost.
though.
Harlem chicks, they'll do they do all that shit. See, look, the pretty Harlem girls don't fight. You understand what I'm saying? Harlem girls, they do all of this bullshit, go back and forth and clapping your hand, do all of this. You know what I'm
The
saying?
clapping.
They
And
do they they
I like
do
that.
they do all this. Meanwhile, the Bronx girl got a blade in her mouth. She ready to cut somebody and
See,
shit.
I think that's the project. I think that's the Bronx girls from the projects. They always had a blade, or definitely some blood bitches. They stayed with box cutters. I didn't never
Yeah,
bring a blade
yeah.
to a fight. I can't. Well, no, but it wasn't with a girl. It was with a guy. I did bring a box cutter, but that's because it was a.
Mhm.
That's a different, you know.
Yeah, and but Orlando said it correct. He said the Ugg mugs in Harlem will fight though. So it's a small population.
That
It's a
is true.
small demographic. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's true. I'm not a cutter though. I'm not a cutter.
yeah.
I wouldn't run with no box cutter to go to no fight. Maybe a taser. I did bring a knife. I'm saying a lot. I'm just,
Well, according to last week, you're a shooter. according, according, according to last week, you a shooter.
That was not how I was saying it.
You,
Yo, yeah, remember the Dominicans? Remember DDP with the machetes?
ah,
Oh, they'll get the bros
Dominicans
on you.
carry machetes. Yeah.
You know what that is? That's from that's from fucking with gangster niggas. But I didn't mean it in that context. I wasn't saying like I'm gonna shoot. I said I
Okay.
shoot
I'm
back.
shoot. Yeah, I know. I had to, Joy will
Oh,
just curse you. What?
oh,
That's gangster.
word. Lando, I thought we was friends until you just said that. Word. That's a lie. I
how,
don't need to
how
curse you.
how many fights you had coming up?
Not a lot. How many fights I had? Not a lot. Cause fights with your family and stuff, I don't count those. But like outside fights, maybe like a handful, maybe like five or six. Not a lot. I
Okay.
wouldn't say a lot. And all of those when I was younger. The most recent one was like from a few years ago, but that was more so about principle. That was about principle. But for the most part, I'm not out here fighting. I'm not. Bitches be going
Was
to
you in,
jail.
did you ever have to involve yourself in jumping a chick or?
Nah, I never jumped
Oh,
nobody. I never
okay,
jumped
okay.
nobody. My sister, my baby sister, she was just telling a story. She says me and because I'm the oldest, my sister right under me, she says we jumped her.
Mm,
But she was like 15 or 16 at the time, and she's my mother's baby girl, but she's a little pit bull.
mm-hmm.
I will say that. Like she's a tomboy and everything. And again, she wasn't listening to school. My mom feeling like she can't control us. So me and my sister trying to talk to her. And I guess Shorty just thought she could push past us and didn't listen. And we
Mm-hmm.
were raised with the you spare the rod, you spoil a child. And one thing you don't do, you don't walk away from adults when they're talking to you. So my
Yeah.
sister grabbed her and she tried to buck up off my sister. No, she tried to like brush my sister off and then like buck up at me. So I hit her. And this little heifer hit me back. It was a wrap for that. I had on, mind you, I'm in my house in house clothes. So I had on boxers, a shirt. I went and threw on my lace up Ugg boots and I just was, I can't front. We did kind of jump her. But she was eating that shit and she punched me in my face. So after that, I didn't even care that my sister was hitting her. I just saw red and I just was trying to get her. And my sister was like, hold her, Joy, hold her. And we was just going at it. But that was my little sister.
Yeah,
That's the only instance. But anybody else, nah, I'm not jumping you.
yeah, yeah.
Even if you fight me and you fuck me up, I'm still gonna fight you. I'm not gonna tuck my tail. Like I'll take that L, but I'm not tucking my tail. I might get a bigger bitch to beat you up, but I'm not gonna jump you.
Okay, okay, okay.
I
Gangster
wouldn't
shit.
jump.
Gangster shit. Okay, okay. That's what's up. Listen,
Lando
man.
talking shit. Lando, why are you talking about I'm gonna curse people? What is that about? Don't you put mouth on me. Don't you be spreading those rumors. You know, people think I'm already a devil worshiper because I be talking about spirituality. Don't be saying I'm gonna curse people.
Nah, we gonna listen. We're gonna show them wrong on
Yeah.
the pop. We're gonna address it spirituality in the calm way where they feel accepted, so they don't feel like no devilish stuff or whatever the case is. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Shoot. I'm
So
walking
that
light.
that to help people. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You know
exactly.
to help.
Exactly. I'm walking light. I don't curse nobody.
Yeah,
I might
yeah,
curse
man.
you out. I might
Mhm.
curse you out. But I would never put mouth on nobody because that comes back too. That's why they
Yeah,
say be careful what you say.
yeah, yeah,
Wishing
yeah.
bad and ill on people, that absolutely comes back. Just the same thing with love spells too. People that play with love spells, you don't never play with no love spell. That always comes back bad.
Mm, mm. Wow. So
Certain
we're
things
gonna
you don't
build.
do.
We're gonna build more next week when we come on like relationships and you know the man being comfortable with man and woman being comfortable with woman. I think that's important.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm
yes, I
saying?
agree. Yeah.
Like working on yourself.
Yep.
You know, working on yourself is so important, because I think that's part of the literature I gave you. That's one of the literature I gave
Yes.
you
Mm-hmm.
about how like building up yourself. The more you build up yourself, the more you are going to be acceptable, and the more you're gonna feel comfortable being around,
Yep.
the right one. That makes
And then you're
sense.
you're more prone to attract the right one too, because now you're standing in your own authenticity
Yeah,
versus trying to fulfill yourself with things that serve no purpose.
yeah.
So yes, absolutely, working on self first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, cool. I'm off tomorrow, but I am going to hit the gym and get some things done. You
Oh,
know what I'm
tomorrow's
saying?
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So listen, this was an awesome conversation we had tonight. And
Yes. You already know, Monty.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, cool, cool. So I'm gonna chop it up with you later, okay, love?
All right, get some rest. Enjoy
Uh,
your day off tomorrow. Well, I know we're gonna be speaking either way, but enjoy your day off
yeah,
tomorrow.
of course, no doubt, no doubt. I'll talk to you later.
Bye,
All right,
guys. See y'all later.
see
We'll
y'all
talk to
later.
y'all
Y'all be
later.
good. All right.